So I know it's early. Somebody just posted, all the drunks are still asleep. I was thinking that when I did this live. I go, shit, I usually do it at night when everybody's freaking having a drink. I'll do one this early and different people will get to be here. And then the people that didn't drink last night, maybe they'll make it. They can watch it tonight when they're drinking. So it's Saturday, and holy cow, I made it for the live instead of replay at 175 speed. I know I watch a lot of videos at 175 speed because it's just so long to get through. And even at 175 speed, I hit the fast forward button every once in a while to jump 5 seconds or 10 seconds. So I don't take it personally if somebody we were joking, somebody was upset because they listened to his video at fast speed and he was concerned they were going to miss something. I'm like, whatever. You can listen to my shit at any speed you want. Who's ready for war? Yeah, somebody's hungover. Jeremy, shame on you. Santa Barbara. Man, what a great area. They got the greatest weather down there. I know it's California, but man, that's such a beautiful area. All the drunks are still sleeping. We're going to have Connecticut's here. Good morning. Happy Saturday, Rick. Hey, teetotalers. What's a teetotaler? I've heard that tone before. So I thought it was pretty interesting on how this Russia thing is developing because it's pretty freaking cool. And there's a lot of stuff coming out that I know I don't want it to be like the C word and the V word and everybody gets burnt out and listen to it. But this is a big thing that can affect everybody. I mean, Putin's being freaking so stupid right now. And I mean, he's risking literally everybody's lives in Russia, over here, everywhere. I mean, the only people that he's not threatening to nuke and that probably isn't worried about being nuked is China and maybe India. I think him and India get along. India's letting him park his boats, I think, in their ports and not seizing them. Yeah, he did. He bombed not only a nuclear reactor, the largest nuclear. I think it's got 8 different silos in that or 8 different reactors in that nuclear plant. So it's pretty serious. Now, I haven't heard he bombed the reactor. He bombed the training camp next to it, and I think they've taken over. And I don't know if they're telling people to come there for safety but that power plant provides a huge amount. I heard one stat, 80% of the energy to Europe. I don't know if that's true or not, but it is a huge power plant. And it's a strategic target. I mean, if you're going to take over a country, you want to take away their ability to have electricity. You want to hold people hostage. You want to threaten. You want to intimidate. I mean, that's what tyrants do. That's what you do when you go over there. I mean, we go over to Iraq, which we probably shouldn't be there, in Afghanistan. We say we're helping the people, but a lot of people die because we're there and we destroy their country and their country is in rubbles when we're left. And then we stay and we spend billions and billions of dollars, and a lot of businessmen who are connected with the government gets rich rebuilding the place that we destroyed. And American taxpayers like, yeah, we need more government and we should raise our taxes and we don't pay enough taxes and we should tax the rich more. We should tax these people more. These people, crazy. So I didn't see Yankee, but somebody said good morning, Yankee. So I'm assuming Yankee's here. Are the comments going by? I got it on 5-second mode. So, and I've only got subs. Morning. Saturday night live show. Yes, this is replacing. I'm not going live again tonight. Are you freaking crazy? It's windy. It's about to rain. I fed the horses and I'm kind of like, damn, that looks like a kind of odd square. I just noticed that in my pasture. Anyway, might be a freaking alien landed last night. Anyway, they're round though. So, so we're expecting storms coming in tonight and tomorrow. And I don't know how bad it's going to hit or whatever. And I was like, you know what? Instead of trying to do a live, maybe electricity going off and all that crap, I said, I'll just do it earlier today. So here we are. And I got 126 people. I don't have a whole lot of people. But that's okay. That means I can get to more of the comments. And we'll have more people watching it later. So Putin just bombed. Yeah, I know. Little PP Putin may have just bombed. What's 6? I don't know what that means. This is badness. Best way to start the day. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. How's your finger after grabbing that hot screw? Oh, it's okay. I got some good tips on that screw video. I might do a video on the different ways to do a screw, because there's one nut, you cut it and you unscrew the nut. Someone else said you put two nuts, cut in the middle, and then unscrew the nut. And then the little wire cutters that I have for my electricity, supposedly I haven't gone and checked it yet, but they got little things that you can screw it in and cut it. And then when you screw it out, it rethreads it. So there were several other tips that got that, which I thought was kind of cool. I was just doing my way of cutting and doing it, but I got all kind of good tips on how to cut a screw in different ways. Oh, it's morning, 2 a.m. Sunday, Aussie time. Wow, you're up at 2 a.m.? Holy shit. There's Yankee. Russian cleaning up the Nazis in Ukraine. Now, I'm assuming this guy is pro-Russia, and I'm not real sure how you can be pro-Russia in this. However, I've got a whole bunch of clips over here. All these tabs are open, and there's different scenes and there's different videos that I'm going to share with you guys that is pretty interesting, and you're going to have a lot, maybe not a lot. If you go watch all these videos, you'll have a lot more information. But from this video, you're going to get a little bit more. Let's see. The reactor that was hit was under construction, so it was outlying empty, but it SAUD there was said radioactive. No, it SAU, is that it said there was radioactive? I'm not sure. It might be a typo. Finally got the notice. All right, somebody got noticed. You know, because I went to YouTube and I put subscribers only and I changed some stuff on YouTube, maybe they sent out notifications, but I only got like 170 people. I would kind of like to do updates. I don't know if you guys would like me to do updates or if it would matter, but like every day or every other day on this Russian thing, because this is a big deal and there's a lot of developments each and every day, and I kind of lose track of them when I wait. I try to get some tabs, but because it's so rapidly changing, and locations and movement and sanctions and who's pissed off and who they got. And I mean, I didn't even look. I forgot to look up that one article where a sniper got a 2-star general, which is pretty cool. So for those not in the military that don't understand tactics, you always want to take out command and control. If you take out the guy at the top, it causes disorientation between the troops. Then who's in charge and will they follow orders? And maybe they were too low and they didn't get the full orders. So then they become less effective. Whereas the guy at the top may have all the orders. He's going to send them here. They're going to go there. They may have all these plans. And if you take him out, you lose all that. Now, in the military, in our military, we have a hierarchy that everybody below you should be able to step up to your job. So if whatever I know, the guy right behind me knows, and whatever he knows, the guy right by him knows. The downside of that is the lowest guy knows all the information. So if they capture anybody, he's got all the info. They don't have to capture one of the higher up guys. So there's trade-offs on how much you want to tell everybody, or you want to keep some secret. But if you keep it secret and that guy gets killed, you're done. That's why you would never go on a mission with 10 guys and only one guy knows the mission. The other guys just follow and do what he tells them. That may be old school way. That's not the way now. You don't want to do that, because if the tech guy gets things, then you got 9 people that don't know what to do. So, but when you get a 2-star general and you can snipe him and kill him, that's a great demotivator. First of all, you just made everybody nervous because you killed some dude in the middle of an area they thought were safe. 2-star generals running around. Second of all, you know your enemy is close enough to reach out and touch somebody. Then you know your enemy is watching and observing you enough to know who's in charge, which is why in the military you don't salute in combat zones. Because if you salute some guy, they know he's an officer, they know he's in charge, and he becomes a sniper target. Unless you don't like the guy, then you run around behind his back and go, you point at him. But I digress. So that for a sniper, and was it a Ukraine sniper or was it a CIA sniper, or we don't know. What's being put out, and we don't know if it's true, is that a 2-star general was killed by a sniper. Now all the troops are nervous. Now they have to get a new 2-star. Now they lose all his experience and knowledge, who's close. Now the higher ups have to find somebody they trust as much as this guy to put in charge. It slows down the planning. They have to get the new guy up to speed. They may have to move some guy. So taking out the higher chain of command is always a priority. And that was a good move, if it's true and if it happened. So sniping a guy up top is always a good move. And again, you make everybody nervous. Now they can't run around free. Now they have to wear all their gear. Now they have to be careful. Now they have to put more people on security to try and find a sniper. Now they're not relaxed. They can't sleep. And if they do get relaxed, you pop another round in there and take out another guy. And then all of a sudden they're like, shit, we can't move. So now they're running to eat. They're running to go take a piss. They're hiding. When you can create that much stress and chaos in a so-called area of your enemy, that's a good deal. Remember, the whole goal is to stop your enemy from doing what they want to do. They can't follow a plan. They can't plan because every time they plan, you screw it up. And whatever their plan was, you screw it up. Now they can't do their plan. So your goal is always disrupt the ammo chain, disrupt the food chain, disrupt the water chain, disrupt the fuel, anything, chain of command, information, whatever. The more you can create chaos in your enemy, you take away their will and you knock down their ability thinking we're indestructible. We can go do what we want. So I didn't even get that article out of all these articles I got up here. I didn't put that one in there. Like I said, this develops so freaking quickly. He did not bomb the power plant. It was a flare that started a fire. Okay. Are you saying that because you're getting more information? Or are you saying that because you're protecting Putin and think he's a good guy that he didn't bomb it? Even if it was a flare, if you're doing operations in an area of a nuclear plant that can cause a nuclear fault, they said if he hits, which he could do, he could just say, fuck it, pull my troops back. And I want a missile hitting that freaking silo and I'm going to nuke all Ukraine. If I can't have it, just like Saddam did. Didn't he light up all his oil rigs? Said, if I can't have the oil and we're about to lose, light all the oil rigs on fire. Make the environment shit and smoke up and do all that shit. Let's screw it. This is called scorched earth policy. If I can't have it, there's back in history, if you look back to early warfare, there were leaders who would destroy cities. They would move in and destroy it. And so there was one leader, I can't remember the name, but he destroyed his cities. So they wouldn't want to come in and destroy it. He destroyed it himself, so there was nothing for the enemy to destroy, thinking it would drop their motivation to continue to come in. But they still came in, and he couldn't destroy his own city, and they came in and destroyed his own. I can't remember the battle. Somebody may remember it. All right, for blocking uptake radiation, potassium iodide is crucial. Do you have that? I do not have potassium iodide. It's kind of expensive, and it kind of has an expiration date, and you don't know if you're getting real stuff. So, I used to have it when I was prepping, and I would keep the little iodine tablets. But again, there's so many fakes. There's so many people that are not doing it. And, I know somebody's going to be, well, you need to buy from this guy and don't buy it from eBay. And that, by the way, I got my eBay money back for those who were up on eBay. I got 274 people. Howdy, welcome. We're talking about Russia. So let's see here. I don't want to get too far behind the comment. Keep an eye on drone warfare. Only thorough work can get and use. Great tool. Yeah, drones are great. As a matter of fact, one of the videos that I'm going to show, they have a drone jammer that when the Russian sends the jammer over, this dude points it at it, it disorients the drone, and it comes down, and right before it lands, they shoot it and destroy it. I think they ought to be saving it, but whatever. Let's see. We have few 6-unit power plants here. Most are 2 or 3. Yeah, I thought most were 2 or 3 too. When I heard that one had like 8, I was like, holy shit. And they said if that reactor got hit, it would be 20 times worse than Chernobyl. Now, Chernobyl, if you didn't know when it happened, it was pretty freaking bad. A lot of people died, and a lot of people are still dying. Some people say it's okay now, and there's animals, but they've been building and reconstructing because once it melted down, it's still melting down. It's still hot. So they had to build up because shit was still escaping. I talk about that video I watched. Hey, UK. Damn, you're early today. Will you do a live again later? No, I'm not doing a live again later. Good morning, Yank. Yeah, Yank had a fall. Last I heard, fires were contained, no damage. Yeah, I did hear that too. But Russia has used that. I mean, it's kind of like when the military sets up bases around a freaking child care center so they don't get bombed. Putin has put his people around the nuclear plant so they won't get bombed. So again, the nuclear plant has become a child care center for Russia. They're just using, hey, if you want to attack my people, you might hit the nuclear weapon and you can destroy your whole country. Go ahead. So now they get to run around the nuclear plant feeling safe. They need to, don't know. That's when a sniper would be perfect to start sniping people so they couldn't be safe around that power plant. Not that I'm encouraging violence, YouTube. I'm just discussing warfare tactics. YouTube, somebody in their little freaking rainbow cubicles going, oh my God, he's talking about shooting somebody that's violent. We should handle everything with hugs. Whatever. All right. Did you see the destruction of AN-222, the largest plane in the world? No, I did not see that. Is it on video? Somebody give me the exact title of the video so I can type it in and find it. Good morning, everyone. Rick, too. Damn, I get second class. Everyone else gets good morning. I get last. You too? What am I, like chopped liver? All right, there was 1 7-unit plant in Ohio. 3 are operational. Smash that like. Okay, he's okay now. He can put me second since he's telling people to like it. Church early in their day is sometimes better. Yeah, I figured I'd switch it up. And then the people can watch it too later. Pesky Citizens Unite. I got a video in here where this, man, I'm telling you, I got a lot of good little videos up here. But I don't want to get too far behind on my comments, so I'm trying to keep up with you guys. Putin is a better leader than Sleepy Joe. Unfortunately, he is, but tyrants, would you rather have a Sleepy Joe or a tyrant? He may be a better leader because he says what he thinks. He's got cognitive ability. He's not stupid. He didn't, I mean, he kind of got elected like Joe did. I mean, you know, Putin kind of takes out counts the votes he wants and he gets elected. I have to be careful on YouTube about questioning Putin's election. I'm talking about Putin's election, not ours. YouTube would be like, he's putting false information. All right, let's see. Such a pain to freaking comply with YouTube. Gas is going up 10 cents. I know, it's freaking crazy. Bob just called me the other day. He paid $4.12 in Kentucky. And I was like, holy shit. I was pissed when I paid $3.49 here in Texas. And you know what? It could be back down to $2 like it was when Trump was in. There's that mean T word. I can't say his name on YouTube, brother. When Mr. T was in, it was $2 a gallon. And now I'm paying $3.46. And everybody's cheering. Yeah, because Trump sent bad tweets. Biden's better. Oh, okay. Okay. Shut down our pipeline. Shut down a pipeline that could be moving fuel now. Shut down our plants here. We've got enough oil here. We could be selling to other people right now that are getting starved by Russia. And what do? Biden and his administration, his policies, and the people that are handling him, moving his puppet strings, shut all that shit down in the name of saving the planet. Yeah, we're going to save the planet. Meanwhile, China's doing everything. Russia's blowing up freaking nuclear plants. Yeah, we're going to save the planet by penalizing America and making Texas stop using oil drilling. Yeah, that's it. That's a great idea. And then we'll open the border and let everybody in. And then we'll say that we need more gun control because gun violence has gone up because we're letting 200,000 people cross the border every month. I mean, we let more people across the border in one freaking year than the whole freaking case of how big is Ukraine? Is it 4 million? What's the population of Ukraine? Iran. I'm sorry, it's Iranian. It's not Ukraine. It's Iranian. Population of Ukraine. Oh, there it is. Is it 44 million? Yeah, 44.13. Okay, so 44 million people. So we're letting in about 1 million people cross our border every 5 months. So over 2 million a year are coming across our border every year that the Democrats do this. We just sent 200 million or 250 million of equipment to Ukraine, and now we just sent another 350 million. Remember when Trump was trying to build a wall and they were arguing that they didn't have $5 million to give him to start the wall? And there was a big deal about how we can't afford that, and Trump's wall is not important. And $5 million they wouldn't give Trump to build a wall on our border, and we've sent over 500 million to freaking Ukraine. 200 million or 250 million first, then 350 million, I think now. 500 million to Ukraine for their border, and they wouldn't give Trump 5 million to build a wall on our border. And Americans are like, we don't like Trump because he's got bad tweets. Freaking just ignorant shit. Crazy. 450 in Cali? Wow. Gas will hit $7. Mark my words. Dude, I might take that bet. I don't think it'll hit 7 or $8. If you wanted to bet on that, I might take that bet. Oh shit, I forgot to bring in my little freaking, I might have to jump up and go get it. Has Putin has Putin had loan to India so that they won't seize it? I'm not sure what you're asking there. So evidently Putin, Russia and India has a an agreement because of energy. So they either get a special deal or they're favored nations. So India has said, we're not enforcing any sanctions on Putin, and we don't care what he's doing. He can do whatever he wants in our country. So Putin got his boat, his, I don't know, $400 million boat, whatever the hell it is, one of them, out of the port before they seized it and moved it to India. And then I think he moved another one somewhere else, somebody said. Propaganda. Speaking of propaganda, this is what kills me. Like, how long has this war been going on? 8 days, 10 days? And how long were they sitting outside there building up troops? What, months? Months before this attack, I was saying he's going to cross the border. People in Ukraine ought to be planning and doing this. And I got attacked. You're believing the propaganda. Why are you promoting that shit? Ukraine isn't worried. Even the UK president was telling our president, we're not worried about Russia. Why are you guys making a big deal out of it? All these people telling all this shit, and anybody with military tactics know you don't move 100,000 people and start setting up operations if you're not planning a freaking mission. You just don't do it. I mean, he's got all of Russia to work, and he just happens to be on the border. And I know somebody will say, well, he does that every year, whatever. That's a good ploy to set up a freaking future attack. I'll do it every year, so when I do plan an attack, they'll think it's routine because they're dummies. So where are all those people telling me how wrong everybody got it, that Putin was not going to cross and there was no problem, and the West was just making a big deal out of it? Where are those people at? Yeah, crickets. That's what I thought. Good morning from Broken Arrow. Broken Arrow, shit. That's a nuclear accident, I think Broken Arrow is. Wow, what's the future like? Asking the Aussie in here. Is there an Aussie in here that's asking a future? This summer, I'll be getting gas at 5 below. Who do you think will win, Ukraine or Russia? I'm curious. Okay, first of all, this isn't a win or lose war. Okay, Russia has superior weapons, money, war. There's no comparison. I mean, I'm sorry if you're Ukrainian and, remember that Seinfeld episode where Kramer's playing Risk and he goes, Ukraine's weak. I'm not worried about it. And that Ukrainian was there and he smashes the board. And Ukraine is not weak. And he got all pissed. I'm not trying to piss off Ukraine. Look, Ukraine just doesn't have a chance against Putin. I'm sorry. They don't have the weapons, the money, the military force. They weren't planning for war. They were never planning to defend like they should. They're putting up a good insurgents fight. They're slowing them down. Will Putin be able to maintain it after he takes it? Remember, taking land is easy. Get a bunch of people there, you throw in some distractions, you hit them on multiple sides, you disorient them, and you take over the area. That's easy. Now you have to secure it, and you need bodies, and you need security, and you need to leave people there, and you need to resupply them with medical, food, energy, gas, etc. So taking area is easy, maintaining and holding is hard. And I think Putin's plan is, I'm going to take the major cities and the rest will fall in. If I can take a major, or maybe if I can get the capital to fall, everyone else will give up and go, the fight's over. So I think that's kind of his plan, but it doesn't matter. Russia, even if he takes Ukraine, I don't think that's a win. So when you say who's going to win, I think Russia is going to end up on top. The only way Russia doesn't end up top is if NATO or the U.S. gets involved. Sorry, Ukraine. And I know somebody's going to be here. Man, you underestimate, they're really tough and they're strong. I'm looking at all the videos, and I've got some in here where they're fleeing the country and people are leaving and the males are leaving, and they put a restriction on who can leave and who can't leave. And now they're trying to give out freaking weapons. And 4 years ago, when this guy was elected, nobody had weapons. And the military was shooting the citizens, and the citizens were throwing rocks. And again, I got a video that I'm going to show. So, when a country disarms its people, they do it to give the government more power. So they disarm the Ukrainians, and now they're throwing rocks, and they got their ass shot and killed, but they were able to elect a new president. But now the new president didn't say, hey, I want my people armed. We're going to be united. I trust you. You trust me. I'm not going to be a tyrant. If I become tyrannical, you guys can be armed and you can overthrow me. I'm going to give everybody guns. That's what our founders wanted. That's why they wanted us to have gun rights. But not too many countries do that, because government knows that an armed populace won't put up with as much shit as an unarmed populace. So that's why most governments have an unarmed populace. So who's going to win? I'm not sure unless we get involved, Ukraine. I mean, when I show you the map, and if you see the map of, where's one of the maps at over here? If you look at all of this, what's going on here, I mean, why is it this thing giving me my damn, oh shit. I hate when I do that.
Their border with Ukraine.
So this video right here is a really good video. And so Crimea is right here. So when Russia came in here and took Crimea, it gave them access to Ukraine here. Russia's got all this. Russia took over this area, I don't know how many years ago, and they might call it Russian separatists or part of Russia, whatever. So Russia's got this border of Ukraine, it's got this border of Ukraine, and now it's got Crimea. So he can attack on so many multiple fronts. Ukraine is a sitting freaking duck. And Putin knew this, and he knows if he didn't act now, if they made Ukraine in NATO, look how hard it would be for Russia. Now, Ukraine and NATO would have all this border on Russia that they controlled. Nobody else. I think what Putin wants is he doesn't want NATO past this area over here. So because of that, he wants here, and he's thinking these little countries here is a buffer zone for his main area. And therefore, if there's any conflict, he can move all his people here and fight along this border. But look how much border he doesn't have right now. He has this border, he has this border, he has this border, and he has this over here. And then he took Crimea down here. So, I mean, it's who's going to win? Man, I'm not sure there's a winner in this. All right. Where are we at? Did I go back? I'm not pro-Russia. I'm pro-stay the fuck out where we don't belong. Well, and I'm kind of with you on that a little bit. Only because our government won't fix our own freaking problems, and we got our own border shit, and our government is very easy to spend money otherwise. Why? because our government is getting kickbacks from spending this. They're getting kickbacks from the military, from the CIA that are hiring contractors so the military, our government's getting kickbacks for spending our tax dollars. Meanwhile, they're telling us we don't pay enough taxes. Property tax is going up, food's going up, gas is going up. They're not doing anything for the infrastructure and building our country first. And when Trump did that, he was considered a separatist. He was bad. He was a nationalist. He was a racist. He was all these terms because he wanted to make America strong. I'm telling you, when I show these pictures, I'm going to piss people off because I'm going to be saying, you see these women crying? You see these little kids crying? I ain't crying because you know what? That's freaking the future of America. We're going to have people crying and moms crying, and there ain't nowhere for us to run to help. And, you may be thinking you can run over to Mexico for help if shit goes that. There ain't nowhere for Americans to run. And so you want to cry and feel bad and think it's good to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on these other places? Knock yourself out. We are going to fall, and people are going to be surprised and be crying like this. Oh, I didn't know. And now the president of Ukraine is like giving out guns. Anybody wants a gun, you can have it. Fuck you. I couldn't have a gun before. Fuck you. How about that? But whatever. I'm sorry. I said the F word. I don't think I have too many kids watching this, but I think I still have some people crying. No, Rick, that's what Russia said. Taking out Nazis. Oh, Russia said that. Yeah, now that's another thing that I didn't pull up that article. And see, there's so much going on. So Putin has shut down Facebook and all news reports in Russia because there was information getting out and the Russian people were turning on him saying, hey, this is bullshit. They were protesting. Well, when they're protesting, he has to take forces and time and resources to control the people. So he doesn't want them rioting. So how do you do that? You take over the media, kind of like the left and CNN, and they take it over with this fake news shit. So Putin is now saying he shut down Facebook because of fake news. He doesn't want fake news getting in. So he has become the truth bleed. Putin is just like YouTube and Facebook here. They think they are smarter and they can tell you what truth is. It's what their truth is. Putin is doing the exact same thing. Facebook and YouTube here cracking on Putin is bullshit because they are just like Putin. They use their power to shut people up that don't agree with them. And that's what Putin's doing. He's shutting down all the media. So now he's being able to put out his propaganda like, hey, we're taking out Nazis. Hey, we're a peacekeeping force. Hey, they attacked us. We're just defending. We're not bombing children. We're not bombing them. They're our Russian brothers. We're here to help. He's putting out lies just like our government does, just like YouTube does, just like Facebook and Twitter does. So when somebody wants to claim the high road here and start talking shit about Putin, I'm like, freaking Facebook and YouTube is saying Putin's bad. You motherfuckers are just like Putin. You're fucking bullies, and you shut down people that don't agree with your shit in the name of we've got to stop false information. We got to protect people from the truth. You're not giving the real truth. Only we know the real truth. That's what Putin's doing. No damn difference. All right, in England, I'm glad you're doing it earlier. It's 4 p.m. here. Oh, good. I figured I'd make some people happy and some people not happy. Hi, Lay. I'll call her Lay. Screw people up. Dude, I'm actually kind of worried that we might slip in. You know, I mean, we can't do nothing about it. All you can do is be prepared. And I got to go fill up some of my gas tanks because I was running all my engines the other day, and I probably got half of what I normally have in reserve here. So keep your gas tanks full. Make sure you have extra gas at the house, and food, canned goods, medical supplies, whatever you need. You should be ready, and don't be keeping your damn money in the bank. You ought to have cash at your house, and freaking get it out of the bank. I mean, there's plenty of places to hide. I tell people, if you want to hide money somewhere, the problem with hiding money is if your house burned down, you lose it. But I mean, how often does a house burn down? When was the last time you saw a big red truck actually go into a burning house? It just doesn't happen that much. So anyway, the problem with keeping cash in your house, if your house burnt down, you kind of lose your cash. So either get you a firebox or get you a tube and bury it in your yard. That way you don't have to worry about fires, and you can have it somewhere, build your little out place that you can hide it in your land somewhere or wherever. I mean, there's places you can put it or things you can put it in so you won't lose it for a fire. But one of the videos I got is people waiting in line to get freaking cash. I'm like, they've been forming 100,000 troops for the last 3 months. And now you people are in line trying to get money out of the bank. And I'm like, really? How freaking stupid can you be? Rick, they're not stupid. They're just because they don't know what you know and you're being mean. You know what? If they were watching me, they'd know. At least it'd be a choice. It'd be like, yeah, that Rick said I should do this, but fuck him. I'm not doing it. Okay. At least you have the knowledge. You don't have to do what I tell you, but at least you have the knowledge to make decisions for yourself. All right. Rick somewhere in Tennessee. Don't want to give out too info. OPSEC, Operation Security. Come on, people. All right. Hope you're doing well. I am doing well. Alberta, Canada is awake. Good morning. Canada. Somebody was joking like we should just go take Canada. If Putin can just go take, Ukraine, why can't we just go take Canada? I mean, it's not like Canada can beat us. Canada couldn't stop us. We could go take them easy. I mean, we could send our reserves to probably take Canada. Their Air Force is what? Couple Cessnas? I don't even know if Canada has an Air Force. Does Canada have an Air Force? Rick, why are you picking on Canada? I'm not picking on Canada. I know that they don't have as many guns as the U.S. Let me put it this way. And they don't have as large as military. And they don't have as good as Air Force. And they don't have as good as Navy. I don't know if they have a Navy. And they don't have as good. Could the U.S. Who thinks that the U.S. couldn't go take Canada if we wanted it? I mean, if your hand's up, you got to be some kind of special stupid. There's some Canadian out there. We would fight. We're like Ukraine. We're not going to give up. Okay, whatever. If the U.S. wants Canada, we go take it. Sorry. I'm not saying that as a bully or that we should. I'm just giving the example that if Russia can just jump over and nobody wants to say it's wrong and everybody should stay out of it, then he should be able to go take Ukraine, right? If you have that philosophy, then the U.S. should be able to go take Canada. And then we'll just go take Mexico. Why not? We just want to take borders. Why not? Let's go take them. Could we do it? Yeah. Isn't Chernobyl that had a meltdown? Yes, it had a huge meltdown. A lot of people died. Great documentary on how they're doing it. Yes, update, please. Update, please, is I'm talking about Russia, and I have a lot of videos that I'm going to show to kind of get everybody up to speed. I'm trying to this is off schedule. You got a notification. You have been live for 118. Got a notification in 118 seconds. Wow. 118 seconds. Is that like a minute? Almost 2 minutes? Because 60 seconds in a minute. We couldn't say 2 minutes. We had to say 118 seconds. What the hell? Why you got me doing math on Saturday morning? Yay, updates. I know what I just got it. See, I'm a little slow. I asked earlier if I should do like daily or every other day updates. That's what I'm getting. I'm sorry. Thanks. Let's see. Situation is fluid. It's always fluid. You always have to change. Do updates. That would be great. Okay, so I'm up to the update area. Man, I must be really behind. First notification. Hang on. I'm going to scroll through these without clicking them up. Killing the higher up hurts morale. It does. It causes mistrust and they're not secure. Chernobyl blew freaking 200K bomb roof off. Ooh. Wow. I think Russia hasn't sent the good stuff. I'm not for Russia, but I think he will take what he wants. Oh, I agree. I mean, Ukraine and Ukrainian people don't want to hear that. The Russian two-star was killed by a sniper. Even Russia confirmed it. That's why you wear subdued insignia. I think this guy was parading around like a peacock. Pow, pow. No shit. Good. And don't get me wrong. I think what Putin is doing is wrong. I think Ukraine is kind of getting screwed. But I blame Ukraine because when they got this freedom and they had to fight for their freedom, they didn't learn that when only the government has good guns, it's not good. See, the other regime took the guns and wouldn't let them have guns. And then you're going to see in a video to where they're throwing freaking rocks while they're getting shot with real bullets. Instead of learning from that and saying, we're going to give our people, because again, government doesn't want armed people. They're free. When government fears the people, there's freedom. When the people fear the government, there's tyranny. Who thinks that the government fears the people of Russia? Hell no. who thinks the government of North Korea, that the government fears the people. Of course not. I don't even think American government fears the people. They may fear us a little bit. There's a little bit that you got to be careful because they still got guns and we haven't got enough. But they don't fear us near enough because they're doing some shit that shouldn't be fucking accepted. Putin is sick, so he don't give a fuck. Could be. Man, did you see his house? I wanted to pull up his house. Cost $200 billion. See, there's so much shit that's popping in my head now. Putin's $1 billion house. Hang on, let me see if I can pull that up. See if it has a picture of it. Oh, yeah, there it is. Ooh, doggies. Hang on, I gotta get this shrunken down so I can drag this tab over here. Shit. Oh, shit. There we go. So in his $200 billion house built on a side of I mean, it's just freaking crazy. The size of this place. Billions of dollars. He is the richest man in the world. They're saying that his wealth could be over 200 billion, but he's hid it so well that nobody knows. I mean, how much power is enough and how much money is enough? When will people realize that anyone, no matter how much power you give them, they're going to want more, they're going to try and take more, or they're going to try and get more? It's just human nature. It's just crazy the size of this freaking mansion that he lives on with, I mean, and this is just one of his houses. I mean, his yachts and all this other shit is also crazy. Let me get back to comments here. Everybody's like, Rick, am I keeping up? Hi, Jennifer. Maybe Putin killed the general. I doubt it. Could have. Yeah, I'm drinking my coffee. This is my second cup. So I'll probably run out here. All this pro-Ukraine propaganda is nauseating. Okay, so we have somebody here that obviously thinks Putin is a good guy. And he's out there killing women and children and starting a war. And he's causing soldiers on both sides to die. And he thinks this is a good thing. Okay, I got it. Love you, Ukrainians, fighting spirit. Putin is kicking NATO's ass. He's not fighting NATO. And he's not kicking anyone's ass. You can believe that, but I don't believe that. I've never seen like the world kind of unite against a person. I mean, they've kind of, I mean, he might be getting worse press than Trump. I'm not sure. I think Trump was more hated, even though Trump never did anything like this. I still think Trump was more hated, but he's getting a lot of negative press. He's getting close to maybe reaching halfway to what Trump got. So he's pretty hated, and he's getting it pretty much everywhere. And the shit they're seizing and the things they're going with the money is freaking crazy. I'm just like, holy shit. 99% of info on Ukraine is propaganda. Wow, man. There's some people that just doesn't, I mean, everything we could be getting propaganda. Never be the highest ranking with any information. Navy Bravo. Dude, there's one video on here about when the Navy's recruiting. It is freaking hilarious. I don't care about Ukraine. America must fit. Yeah, I agree. We should be fixing our own shit. But in a world, if you're not going to be the strongest to where nobody will fuck with you, you can't ignore everything. So the UK and Europe is probably like, we have to pay attention because he's coming for us next. And to be honest, sorry, UK, I don't care if Putin goes over there and does what difference does that make? We can't fix our own problems. We can't update our infrastructure. We can't even get gas without depending on the Saudis or Russia. Our Biden is literally buying gas right now from Putin. We're getting gas from Russia. Are you kidding me? You shut down our pipeline. You shut down our drilling in America that helped America and that made us strong. And you're buying gas and fuel from Russia. And somehow people think Biden's a better president than Trump. And it's better. And Trump was bad. Trump, evil, mean, orange man, all this shit. It's just absurd how stupid people can be when they have freedom to learn and be manipulated and they're not being taught history and understanding common sense and accountability and how important it is to control your government. Right now, I'm pretty sure Ukraine wish they controlled all the people running and crying, and you see all the kids crying and the moms crying and the soldiers dying. I'm pretty sure all those people right now are like, you know, if we'd have freaking stepped up our game, paid attention, and got ready, maybe this wouldn't be happening. If we were stronger, maybe this wouldn't happen. If everybody was armed, we wouldn't have people trying to run or trying to go get a gun right now instead of throwing fucking rocks. Maybe that could have been a learning lesson, but no. We got a bunch of women in charge everywhere telling everybody that violence doesn't solve anything and that we need to talk things out and hug each other. Okay, perfect. Damn, I'm trying to get down here. I can't believe I got this thing on slow mo and I still can't keep up. We have too many problems at home. I agree. I'm with you. I mean, I got that shit. Saw vid of power plant under attack. I care more about Canada going full commie. Canada may volunteer to Russia. They just might go, hey, Russia, we volunteer. Just come take us over so we don't have to do anything. We'll just do what you tell us. That'll be easier. Okay. Now, look, don't get me wrong. I know there's some good, patriotic, gun-loving Canadians, and you're welcome in freaking Texas. I'll take a Canadian that freaking loves their guns and freedoms over half the people in New York and California any day of the week. So I don't want anybody here coming thinking I'm hating on freaking. Sources are very helpful before you say something. I'm not sure what you're saying here. Are you trying to tell me that I need to get to my videos? You could say that. Some people may think that because I have credibility and I have no reason to lie and I'm passing on things only that I've heard and that I have sources, I'm not making something up. Some people would say that I have credibility and I don't need to do a source for every time I say, ow, my finger hurts. Do you have a source for that? Well, yeah, hang on. Let me get a doctor's appointment and then I'll have an x-ray and then I'll prove that my finger really hurts. So if you don't like that I don't have a source, haul your happy ass out of here. One less viewer. I don't give a shit. How about that? Frankly, my dear, I don't give a shit. How about that? You like apples? How you like those apples? All right, where are we at here? Rick, you're going to run people off and they... Shut up. An enemy is my friend. I agree. I'm all for that. Do you think Zelensky's a good leader? Zelensky, that's the Ukrainian president. I think he's staying there and he's talking the good talk. But when he had all those troops on the border and he's telling the U.S. when we're telling him we have intel that he's going to attack, and he's telling us, don't worry about it. We're not concerned about it. Why are you making a big deal out of it? He's kind of an idiot. Sorry. I'm going to piss off more Ukrainians. That's a pretty foolish thing. You've got a superpower that has huge technology that spies on their own people and everybody in the world. We have the part of the great, may not the greatest, but right up at the top of the greatest technology and ability with satellites and drones and intel. And we tell you something to help you, and you tell us you're not worried about it. Now you're saying we need more ammunition and help from you. We've already given you $250 million worth of shit. We followed up with over $300 million worth of shit. And now you're saying we need to give you more. But when we told you to get prepared and start trying to defend yourself, you told us that it was propaganda. It was West propaganda. And the U.S. needs to stay out of our business. And we're not worried about Putin. Perfect. Perfect. Let's see. A war being attacked still has power on. Well, they have a nuclear plant, and Russia hasn't shut it down. Do you really not think that Russia can't shut down the power in Ukraine if he wants to? You don't think he could fly a freaking plane to every freaking major power plant and totally shut off the power to Ukraine? He could set up a mission in 2 hours and probably execute it and take out the grid for freaking Ukraine. That's easy. If you look back at that map, where's that freaking map at? If you look at this map, the yellow is Ukraine. He's got forces here. He's got forces here. He's got forces here. And he's got forces here. You're telling me he can't fly a multi-mission from these areas and take out the power of Ukraine? I think he could do it. I think he could plan it in 2 hours and execute it in probably an hour. Rick, you're giving him too much credit. Okay, well, maybe I am. Maybe I'm just thinking that I'm pretty sure we could do. Shit, the U.S. could have a bunch of drones go to each of these things, not even put a pilot in the air and take out their freaking grid. Hell, we probably got EMP, probably China or Russia might have it too. They could put an EMP freaking bomb around an area and take out the power grid. So because the power's on is because Russia doesn't want the power off, period. And there is a lot of places with no power, as you're going to see in the videos. What are the gas prices? $8 a gallon in Alabama. Hick 5, 379 is 349 here. It might have went up. It was 349 yesterday. Bob in Kentucky said he paid $4 something, but he was buying the non-ethanol for his small engines. So that's always more expensive. I don't know what that is here, but regular gas here was $3.49, I think, yesterday. And it was $2 when Trump was in, just in case somebody doesn't want to hear that. No, Rick, that's fake news. Prove it. Do you have a source? Yeah, whatever. Did my source guy leave? He get his little panties in a knot and go cry home to mommy? How many illegals are pouring over the southern border? We watch. I know, it's crazy. 200,000 a month are coming across southern border that we know about. And if the government is willing to admit 200,000, it's a hell of a lot closer to 300,000 or 400,000. Think about it. Do you think the government's going to pad the number and make it bigger, or they're going to cut it down and make it look smaller? They're going to make it look smaller, and they're admitting to 200,000 a month. I mean, it's just crazy. Where do you think those people are going? What do you think they're doing for a living? They can't speak English. They have no thing. They could be criminals. They're bringing in drugs. Where do you think they're doing? They're raising the crime rate. They're taking medical resources. They're tying up the schools because they don't speak English, and now we have to train our schools in order to incorporate them. They're taking up housing. They're eating up food and groceries in the stores. They're causing supply issues. Where do you think those 200,000 people are? The left would have you believe they're all coming here and they're becoming doctors and they're great for the country. Yet there's a doctor shortage. Go figure. Anyway. How much shit did we leave in Afghanistan? The World Economic Forum owns all sides of this. I'm not sure the depth of that conversation. Are you talking about the people who are causing all the sanctions? I was 18 and now 62. That was good news. Hang on, where are we at here? Love the mustache. Thanks. Gas is $3.99. Is that Northwest Florida, or is that a different country that I don't know? Philippia? Flapartia. Rick, everybody knows where Flapartia is at. I'm sorry, I don't know where Flapartia is at. Gas is $4.50 in California. They freaking deserve it. That fucking state. Remember to hit the like and piss off YouTube. Yeah. $4.59 in Oregon. Wow. Gas is $8 in Canada? Holy shit. Damn. If you kill the operators of a nuke plant, it doesn't matter how much concrete those facilities have. Chernobyl will be critical because of operator error. Yeah, good point. Ukraine is doomed unless we get involved. I agree. Pete, I'm with you. Which we won't. I'm not 100% with you on that. I'm thinking if the so-called propaganda or the news that children are dying and they're killing people, if we get, in one of my videos I got here, an emergency doctor is crying because a 6-year-old kid has died because one of the bombs hit it, and they're showing it on the news. If we get a lot more footage of kids dying holding their teddy bears, or a headless kid holding a teddy bear, that invokes a lot of passion and hate and venom. I'm not sure we won't get involved in this. I don't think we're going to get involved if he just stays in Ukraine. But I think if he goes other way, and he's smart. He's not stupid. He understands tactics. If we're going to let him have Ukraine now, he's going to take it. Just like when he took Crimea, he stopped. If they're going to let me take Crimea, I'll stop, give it a couple years, replan my forces, make sure I got enough ammo, restock my supplies, take advantage of Crimea that I just took, their resources, etc. Use that to rebuild my army. So guess what? Now I can take Ukraine. And if they'll let me take Ukraine and I don't have to go further, I'll take Ukraine and I'll stop. And I'll wait a few years and I'll use their resources and I'll gather my things and then I'll take other areas. I mean, that's the way you can't. You don't let tyrants and bullies move like that's what they did to Hitler. He took one place, he took another place. It wasn't a big deal, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, he's taking over the freaking world. And everybody's like, oh my God, who could have predicted this shit? Well, Ray Charles saw that shit coming. Let's see. Damn, I'm still behind, man. Hey, Rick, is all the bull crap going to make you a little grayer? I'm pretty gray, man. I've been gray for freaking so long. It ain't going to make me grayer. May make more hair fall out that's already fallen out, but that's all right. Once it all falls out, I don't have to worry about it falling out anymore. Radio Free Europe, where father, son, and their dogs were shot in the head by Russian machine guns. Wow. Wow, I did not see that video. Radio Free Europe. Man, somebody give me the exact name. If I search Radio Free Europe, I'll get the channel, and then I'll have to search through the channel, etc. Give me the title. Come on, people. I need the exact title so I can type it, and that video comes up. When you give me stories, Radio Free Europe, where the father and the son and their dogs were shot. Okay, let me see if I can Google that and see if the video comes up. Now, A.O. Gunner may be just telling you that to explain it to you, not so I can look it up. But if you give me something like this, I need the quotes of the title of the video, and then I can type it and pull it up. Rick, why are you yelling at us? I'm just yelling shit. Freaking crazy people. Chernobyl is still deadly. Yeah. But I heard Russia wants to take Chernobyl, or they might have even already taken it. I don't even know. Did you see Ukraine was returning against the flow of people going back? No, I did not see that. I saw a lot of people running. I have not seen that video. That's why this thing is so rapidly changing. And there's like so many updates every day. And I don't even watch the news a whole bunch. But when I'm walking or I'm outside, I'll turn on the news and put it in my pocket on my phone. And I'm out there, moving limbs or whatever. And I'm picking up all this great info. And I'm like, holy shit, this is like really changing rapidly. Russia is controlling energy. Somebody asked, are we live? No, this is pre-recorded. Sorry. You can pause it and go back. You can fast forward if you want to. See what's going to happen. Rick, why are you being... The nuclear plant works a little bit different than Chernobyl. It wouldn't explode. It could be scrambled, unlike Chernobyl. Really? That may be true. Why didn't they scramble Fukushima or Fukushima, whatever it was in Japan, when they let all that nuclear shit go in the ocean, when the tidal wave hit? Why didn't they scramble? Maybe they did scramble. I don't know what scramble. The only scramble I know is scrambled eggs. A-hole, I saw that. That was heartbreaking. Damn, I did not see that. I want to look that up. Hopefully somebody will put a link once this thing goes public and I can go watch that. This guy is full of shit. Meaning me? Nice comment, dude. This guy. You talking about someone else or me? You can't even throw a good insult if that's to me. Freaking dumbass people writing shit. Oh, you do? I mean, this guy's full of shit. With bullshit, with fucking motherfucker shit. Bitch hell. No one believe I said gasoline 5. It will definitely see close to 10. Dude, you better save and do a screenshot of this. I don't think it's going that high. I think if it gets $8, I think it's just going to hit the fan. Either Biden's going to open up pipelines, he's going to allow drug, he's going to do something. The Dems cannot survive $8 gas when an election coming up. It ain't going to happen. I mean, it may happen very briefly, but it ain't going to be sustained very long. People will shit their pants. And, it's funny. People in America will let freaking 200,000 people cross the border. They'll elect Biden. They'll shut down everything. They're buying oil from Russia, and they're okay with that. But if they have to pay $8 worth of gas, I think they're going to draw the line right there. We'll see. Gas has a way of pissing people off because everybody drives here. I don't know if they're all running the power plant thing. Social media platform, State Department said not to report it. MSM social media platform and State Department said not to report it. Really? Why not? The plane was intentionally destroyed, the last one. I didn't see that video. Get ready for three-headed dogs. eBay. What about eBay? Is that Ukraine? Is Ukraine? I don't know what that means. I said earlier I got my money back from that freaking crap, but I'm still on a mission to find out his name and where he's at, because I'm sure there's other people he's ripped off, and I would like to have that information out. So if they want to sue him, or if they're closer and they can sue his ass, they can find him. Putin doesn't hide it. Chernobyl will never be livable again. Well, I don't know. They're saying there's a lot of wildlife there, and that's not necessarily true, but Putin's a dictator. Putin is not a dictator? Really? Please explain your idea of a dictator. He's not a dictator. He moved his army and took a sovereign area and took Crimea. And now he's moving in and killing innocent people, and he's taking that area using his army and military might. He puts people that run against him in jail, and nobody can run against him. He's not elected. He is in there. He shut down media that says things that not good about him. He's assassinated, killed, and jailed people who have disagreed with him. Really? He's not a dictator? What the hell is your definition of a dictator, dude? Holy shit. Rick, why are you being mean to... I'm just asking questions, people. Come on. I like thinking. I like quick-witted people. I like people that challenge me with a good comment and instead of just this blabble. Man, this propaganda. Man, you ain't got no sources. Man, you're full of shit. Yeah, that's so educational and articulate. I mean, shit, that's why we got a freaking doctor shortage. And everybody wants to be a doctor, and everybody's gonna be a doctor, but we ain't got no damn doctors. Do a video on Alabama Police Department, 600,000. I've got a few cop videos that I need to get up on. Wasn't everyone in USA not seized recently? Doesn't fall. Russia's cleaning up, not see what? Wasn't everyone in the USA Nazis recently? Don't fall for the Russia cleaning up Nazis bullshit. Dude, what the? 31 years as president. He's a dictator. No shit. No, he's not. He's a really good guy. He's just, he's being forced to go in there and kill people uselessly. He's the richest man in the world. He's got billions of dollars, and he's using government tyranny and control over nuclear weapons to hold the entire world hostage because he has nuclear weapons. Shocking. $8 in the UK. Wow. 60% of Iranians want to join Russia. Well, maybe so. Look, if this, we're talking about propaganda, right? If this is true, if 60% of Ukrainians want to join Russia, this would have been over. If 60% of the people walked to the Russian border and said, welcome Russia, and went over there and said, we're here to help, come on in, we'll bring you in, it's over. No, that's it. Because you got 60, according to you, 60% of the population, which is what? That's over 20 million people, want Russia in there. Meanwhile, you have millions running across. I think Poland's taken over 1 million so far of refugees. So you got people fleeing. You got people hiding. You got people saying they don't want to fight, or they want to fight Russia. And you're saying 60% want Russia. Why is there even a battle? I mean, if we can get 60% of the people in the U.S. to agree on any damn thing, it's over. You're saying you got 60% that want to join Russia. I don't necessarily, to me, that propaganda doesn't pass the smell test. Trump is a traitor to all. Oh, dude, okay, so this is the dude. Now I know this guy was insulting me because he's too stupid to insult me directly. Now I know he's saying this. He's a little punk with his fake name. So guess what? He just got blocked. Rick, don't block him. He's gone. See ya, little crybaby. Go insult someone else. When you learn how to insult intelligently, go make a new account and come back. All right, let's see. Don't believe propaganda. Let's go, Brandon. Gas Fort Collins, $395 a gallon. Can you believe that? It's going to be $400 a gallon. Wow. If Ukraine exists next to another country called Russia, Russia's then a bigger country. Russia decides a very smaller country called Ukraine. So basically, that's wrong. I got a video of Camel Toe talking. I should get to my videos. How long? I've already been on for an hour and I haven't even got to any of my videos. All right, I haven't even caught up to my freaking comments. I'm catching up though. I see my little things getting smaller. Ukraine is the size of Texas. Yeah, but I think they got more people in Texas, right? What's the population in Texas? Somebody throw that out so I don't need to look that up. I need premium gas, $469. 44 million population in Ukraine. Yeah, I know it's 41.13, I think, is what when I looked it up, or 12. Where was that? Did I leave that up? Population. 44.13 million in 2020. Poland is 37 million. And Turkey is 84 million. All right. So now we got a little population going on. I didn't get Texas. Sorry. I can't remember where one Henrietta was. It what? I don't know what that means. Thieves are already drilling holes in people's gas tanks to steal gas. Oh, you know it. Look, if you can't protect your shit, you know what? You know who they're not stealing gas from? People with guns. People who have guns aren't getting their gas stolen. We call that a clue. I know it sounds mean and bad, and guns are bad, and the government tells us guns are bad, but I'm telling you, the people with guns, and I'm going to show you a video of their militia that was pretty cool. I like these guys. They're pretty funny too. I trust Major Surplus as a store. The expiration date's not really an issue as it barely degrades over time. I restore every few years, save the outdated for moochers. That's a good idea to have a, I used to carry a fake wallet when I went to bad neighborhoods, and I still have a fake wallet in my car. It's a wallet with an expired credit card and an old expired driver's license. And it may have a couple bucks in it, and it's folded up and it's in there. So if I ever go in an area where I think I'm going to get robbed, which I usually don't go to because I just don't want to deal with it, end up killing somebody and being in jail or whatever. So, but when I used to go to places like that, I'd have a fake wallet. And then if I ever got robbed, I'd pull out my fake wallet. They would see that it's got a credit card and a thing. They'd think it's real. They'd take a couple bucks and they'd be on their way. So, having a fake supply of fake alcohol. I love that one show. What was it? The Revolution, where the lady carried around a bottle of whiskey. I think it was Jack Daniels, and she had poison in it. And she didn't drink it, but she kept it in her bag because she knew if she ever got robbed and they stole her bag, they would drink the whiskey and it would kill them. So all she'd have to do was wait for them to drink the whiskey and she'd go get her shit back. I thought that was brilliant. I love that technique. So that's kind of what he's saying. Keep the expired shit for somebody to steal, or you can trade or barter it when they don't know. I mean, if you got expired bottles and you got the shit and you have new bottles and shit hits the fan, take your good shit, put it in the expired bottle, and then take your expired shit, put it in the new bottle that shows it's good, and then you can sell it to some dummy and make money. Rick, that's not very nice. When shit hits the fan, niceness, liberalism doesn't exist. How many liberals are there in Ukraine right now saying, peace is the way, we don't want guns, guns are bad, and the government should help and save us, and we shouldn't have to run for the country, we just want to get free? How many liberals are in freaking Ukraine right now? None. They're either all left or they're all freaking not liberal anymore. How many liberals were in Venezuela when they're selling their kids' hair, or they're selling their kids, or they're trying to give anything for a freaking egg, selling their daughters to have sex so they could eat? How many liberals were then? None. Liberals only exist in good times when they can take shit from people that work. That's the only time liberals exist. Rick, that's not fair. I'm a liberal and I have a gun. Well, then you're a freaking idiot. Let's see. Elon Musk tweet. Pat's going to be all over it. Needing more oil now. That was all. I didn't see that tweet. I'm surprised Pat hasn't forwarded it to me or sent it to me. He likes to always keep me abreast of what Musk is doing. Rich needs their slaves. 600 million. I don't know what that means. California has the biggest economy in the U.S. Well, they may have the biggest economy. Texas, I think, has the 4th in the U.S., or I think we're 10th in the nation. I think Texas is 10th in the nation, maybe 4th in the U.S. I don't know who else has a bigger economy in the U.S. California might be number 1, but I thought Texas might have been higher than 4. But anyway, Texas is definitely sustainable. So is California. I'm telling you, man, every freaking conservative state ought to be given one-way tickets to every illegal they catch, to California, Hawaii, or New York. Here you go, one-way ticket and a $500 voucher. You leave, you can't come back. If you come back, you sign this agreement that you're trespassing. You're not allowed in Texas. If you take the money and you take the ticket, you can never come back to Texas. It's an agreement. If you agree, fine. If you come back and break it, you're going to be charged for violating it. Every freaking conservative state ought to be shipping their illegals to these fucking left-wing companies and trashing their states. Instead, what do? We take government money to have more schools. The government gives us a little pittance to appease us, and we take it. Texas ought to say, fuck the federal government, fuck your money, and we're shipping the illegals out. You want to let them cross the border? We're securing our border. And if you want to go to war over it, let's go to war. I can't believe the pussification of Texas, that we are not down there saying, I don't give a fuck if the federal government ain't securing our border. Nobody's coming across this fucking border. Bullets are flying. Not that I would ever encourage that. I'm just saying that if I was doing a movie on how to secure the border, Texas fucking men would be on that border, and anybody trying to cross the border would get in shot. That would be my movie if I was doing a movie and producing it. But anyway, here we go. Must protect Iranians. It's Iranians. My God. Where is Putin? Where is that freaking dumbass? Hang on, let me get this guy on here. One of my things. I know I'm behind on comments, but I got to get this guy here. Y'all ready for this? Where he calls them Iranians in the State of the Union. This is our president. I want you to watch him read the teleprompter. He repeats something. He looks at one teleprompter. He says something. He looks at the other one, sees it again, and repeats it. He's a freaking idiot. And the left loves him. This is their best. Perfect. Freaking love it.
That connects our two nations. We stand with you. We stand with you.
What an idiot. He looked at one teleprompter and said, we stand with you. He turned his head, we stand with you. I mean, are you kidding me? This is the freaking leader. Come on, people.
We stand with you. We stand with you.
He sounds great. There's a guy behind him with his hand up his ass going, we stand with you. We stand. What the? Are you kidding me? Here's where he calls Ukrainians Iranians.
Putin may circle Kyiv with tanks, but he'll never gain the hearts and souls of the Iranian people.
He's reading a teleprompter. It says Ukrainian, and he says Iranian. Rick, you're just picking on him. He made a mistake. You like Trump. You must be an idiot. Trump's bad. Biden's good. All right, whatever. You freaking crazy people. All right, I want to get that out. I'm going to get down to the bottom of these comments and go. Nobody comment anymore. That's the rule until I catch up. Circle back. Jen says the gases are their fault. What? Gas prices are their fault. Circle back. Where did Jen say that? Did I roll past her comment? I can't be going back that far. Sorry. I went back like 8 or 10. All information you're getting, Rick, is from the government of their allies. I agree. And I've always said that. So what makes you smarter or anyone else, or how do you have more information? The government will always give bits and pieces of truth with their lies. So you don't believe it untested, and you don't believe everything, but you can kind of get a gist. Now, the government will pass an agenda. I get it. But there's other sources besides the government. There's independent journalists. There's videos. There's YouTube. There's people that are crying. So I'm not going to CNN, reading this shit, and then coming here and repeating it. Okay? You have to trust me that the shit I'm getting is from multiple sources, and I'm just kind of giving my opinion from the information I have. I could have all bad information, but so could you, and so could everyone else. No one has all the right information. Maybe our government does, but they're not going to share it, and they're going to lie and manipulate it. So, I mean, what's your point? Should we not talk about nothing? Should I not say anything? This next video where they shoot down his chopper is pretty good. It's over 5 mil. Biden said great news. Europeans will be the minority. What? Biden said it's great news. Europeans will be a minority in U.S. I didn't hear that. I mean, there's so much shit. I didn't watch State of the Union. I'm just listening to clips where people are talking shit about it. Morning, Rick. Howdy. Hey, gun people. Bend over Biden. Hashtag Chicago Burbs diesel $4.69. That's not, I mean, that's kind of what we're paying. No, we're paying $3. I'm sorry. Real gas $4.15, $4.75 2 days ago. Wow. Wow. Rick, what's your wager? I got 50 on it. You got $50 that says we're going to be at 8 or 10. Make the bet good. I think you said 10. I'll take 50 for 10. Who's that guy that does Jeopardy? Alan, I'll take 50 for 10 at John's full of shit. In the category of John's full of shit. All right, where are we at here? Look, it could go. Gas, $8, $9 in the UK. Yeah, so if it's $8, $9 in the UK, John seems to think it's going to go that way here. I don't think it's going to. I think we have enough influence or pressure or money or some way that we can get the Saudis to produce more gas if it gets $8 to $10. I just don't see it going there. But I could be wrong on everything, people. I'm not, I wasn't wrong that Russia was going to invade Ukraine. Okay? I got that shit right. And there was a whole bunch of people telling me I was full of shit. All right, everybody, I think stop coming because I'm almost caught up. Oh, shit, it just jumped. Damn it. India, 1 billion plus nuclear power, the elephant in the room. And they're supporting Russia. Mean tweets sounds good right now. I work in home repair service and my prices have doubled in a year. We're talking about increasing. I know, it's freaking crazy. And groceries, it's just every time I buy something, I'm just like, shit. I mean, it is just amazing. Meanwhile, my taxes are going up. Lay, where is that at? I don't know what we're talking about. Images of Biden's government actually got something right. Ray Charles saw that shit coming. You know that shit's true. No one cared when Obama invaded Libya for no. I agree. And nobody cared when Trump, or was it Obama? I think it was Obama that sent in after bin Laden. We went into Pakistan and to get bin Laden. Nobody cared. It was not a big deal. He's a good guy. He's a minority. What do they call him? He's a smart. Biden said he was a smart, clean African-American, like all the other ones aren't. Remember that shit? Biden said so much. Oh, that's okay. He's a left. He can say what he wants, and we still got to love him and support him. I got it. I'm running late. Just got here. Good afternoon. Hey, what's up? I don't even know what the hell I talked about, dude. So I can't even tell you to go back. I can't recap on what's going on. Russian will win. If there's a winner, the Ukraine is weak. The Ukraine is not weak. I love that episode. Seinfeld is on Netflix. I was kind of watching it the other day. Some of those old episodes, man, that was a great show. They just really hit some good. Russia will complete action and eliminate deep state actors in Ukraine government. I don't think this is a police action. It may be the U.S. police action because the U.S. cops run around and kill women and children too. And we're not even at war and they get limited immunity. So maybe Russia killing all these people and kids and women and causing all these people, maybe they can call it a police action. I mean, U.S. cops aren't much better. 440 in Chicago. Wow. U.S. told Ukraine they would defend them. Well, I don't know if it was just the U.S. We were part of some pact that said, if you give up our nukes, we'll defend you. But again, the devil was in the details. Did it say we will defend you and go to war for you as if you're in NATO? Or because you're not NATO, we're not going to go to war, but we will do sanctions and we will put pressures on anybody that affects you. I don't know what the agreement said. If the agreement said you're just as good as NATO if you give us our nukes and we're not defending them, then that's bullshit. But who trusts government? I mean, if another government trusts a government, well, then you're stupid as the people that trust government. You never trust government. That's what's not taught enough. See, I think a lot of this could change in America. I remember going to school in Texas, and they would taught, our social studies teacher would teach us, be skeptical of government. Don't trust government. Remember the Alamo. I mean, we just got taught things that like, look, government does some sleazy, dirty stuff. It's run by people, politicians, or sleazy, dirty liars, and you should never trust or give up freedoms to government because they always want to take more. I remember learning that from teachers. You couldn't teach that now in school. You'd be crazy. You'd be deemed a Trump supporter. You're some crazy patriot that's freaking an enemy of the state. They would be trying to charge you for an insurrection. It would just be crazy. Never trust the USA. Whatever. USA has a government. I agree. Yeah, YouTube app to see scissor. What? What's scissor? I don't know. Damn, I cannot. All right, I got to go to the back. I'm going down the bottom comment. This is the last comment that just posted for me. 90 days, China will be invading Japan, so will Biden sanction China? No, he probably won't. Thought crimes at very least. Rick, anyone who knows the history, it's pretty clear. Yeah, I mean, it's, I got to get to my tabs over here. So I got to knock back on the government teaching you not to teach government. I know that's the way the people used to think. Everyone knew government. Cops even knew government bad. Cops didn't say, we got protection, we're government, we're this and that. Cops even knew we're part of the community. Without community, we don't exist. We're friends. You help us. It was nothing for a cop to fight a guy and have 8 or 6 citizens come over and help the cop because cops were outnumbered. They couldn't get on a radio and have 50 fucking cops there and then tell everybody, shut up, get in your house, get out of here. Don't do this. Show me your hands. Oh, you'll go to jail too. You're interfering. It wasn't like that. Cops were very few and far between, and they needed the community to help them. So they weren't tyrannical because they know they needed our help. Now they don't need our help. They take money, they grow, they get benefits, they get money, they have backup, they have better guns, they're taking our guns. They don't need our help. That's the problem. It didn't used to be that way. All right. Let me get to my little things over here. All right, I got to stop with the comments. I know I'm going to get some heat, but let's go. All right, so I got all these tabs over. So here is a good video of a missile shooting down this helicopter. Pretty freaking cool. Nice shot. Rick, there was somebody's son in that helicopter. It was a father. And you know what? That's fucking war. Shit happens. You don't want war. You be strong enough so nobody wants to fight you in a war. If you're strong enough that nobody wants to fight you, you don't have to do this. When you're weak and you have a bunch of women in charge of everything, telling everybody how we need to protect our sons and we shouldn't go to war and how we have to teach them friendship and wear pink and what bathroom to use and not to be violent and testosterone is bad and strength is bad and everybody's equal and a woman can do anything a man can do and we have to lower the standard to make sure we can prove that true. I got a couple videos on that too. All right, so here's the video one more time of the missile going in and striking. Pretty good shot. I wish I'd see the guy shooting it. Missile coming in. Chopper can't do much. I mean, when you get a hit like this, you're kind of toast. I'm surprised the chopper went as far as it did. I thought right here, all the air and forward movement would kind of stop it in its tracks. It would fall shorter. I was kind of shocked that it went as far as it did on the path. It must have had a pretty good speed going, but it's not dropping as quick as I thought it would. Here, I mean, it's got a pretty slow drop rate for what I thought would happen. Right here, he drops really quick because you notice it turns and it flares out, and that's when it gets all this air, and now it's heading down, and it hits nose first. So good shot for Ukrainian forces. Claim to have shot down a Russian copter. We don't know if that's true. I mean, again, we just don't know. So I knocked that video out. What was this? Launches missiles.
Ukrainian cities of Mariupol, Kherson, Nikon, underway. Mariupol plays free cities. More significant, it confirmed the fall of Melitopol would be the first. Moscow has launched coordinated cruise missiles.
So for some reason, I think this is what Russia is showing on their TV. What they're telling their people is happening.
Ukrainian military command say that Kalibr cruise missiles were launched Madrid near San Odessa.
Hey, look at the big red trucks. Fire people are there, keeping people safe. Yay, government.
Mariupol has been witnessing a multi-pronged attack by the Russian forces.
I thought there was a, there it is. I wanted to show this nice
Russian forces.
Mercedes.
Buildings have been
How would you like to have your car parked out here, minding your own business, knowing there's 100,000 Russians on your border and everybody's telling you you're going to attack? Meanwhile, you're sitting in your house with your car parked out here, and now look what it looks like. How do you like that? But Rick, if only the government has guns, it's good, and then you're safe, and the government will always protect you, and that's why you should support the government. Yeah, that's because you're an idiot.
in shelling. Explosion was reported eyewitness before the explosion. Russian military vehicles moving.
So everybody was telling me about this Z. So all the Russians are painting Z on their shit. Guess what I'd be doing? Or guess what my team would be doing? We would be either taking one of these vehicles and driving it back full of shit to the area, staging area where they're at, or by a plane or whatever, or I'd be painting Z's on my fucking vehicles and driving. The only problem with that is if you paint Z on your vehicle, you may get shot by friendly fire. So when you try to infiltrate your enemy and you try to dress like them or use their tactics against them, you got to make sure you're in their area operation so you don't get shot by your own people. So that's the risk you take. But war is risky. It's men stuff. Men take risks. Men are stupid. Men like the excitement of risk. We like winning. We like competition. We like threats. Keeps us alive. No, Rick, that's your mean testosterone. You should like pink, and you should want to grow flowers and smell flowers and hug everybody. All right, whatever. I don't give a shit. So here's the Z. Everybody was telling me this.
Military handle at the security injury. Two other cities, Sumy and Konotost.
I kind of went through these and I bumped them, so I wanted to, I thought there was something that, big red trucks, even in freaking war. All the big red truck people here will be like, oh, cool. He's giving firemen some creds. Okay, you're there. So let me just bump through here without all the, I can't remember because I watched so many videos on what I wanted to show and not show. All right, so maybe there's a Z, meaning they're Russian, I guess, if they have a Z, or it means that other troops are. Okay, so this video, I'm not sure. So this is the show of force where Putin has put out a lot of information, and this is how he's showing his strength. This is how he's showing he could squash you like a bug to intimidate you. This is bully behavior.
The Russian military on full flex in the most elaborate show of force since this crisis began. Testing hypersonic and ballistic missiles as part of nuclear exercises under the watchful.
Look at this big room with all these screens. This is called propaganda. This is a propaganda shot. He's importing. He's the one-man show. No other chairs, no one else. You have all these computer in this nice room, nice money, richest man in the world, got a house, $2 billion, not happy. Not happy. Got yachts, got a girlfriend on a yacht, not happy. Wants to go in and create carnage and kill people. And there's people here saying he's a good guy. And he's not a tyrant. And he's not a dictator. We can agree to disagree.
Fly of President Putin himself, from long-range bombers by air to submarine launches in the Black Sea and by land to Belarus, where troops are edging ever closer to the Ukrainian border, described by the U.S. Defense Secretary as uncoiling and poised to strike.
Gee, that's when they were told that the U.S. was putting out propaganda. The U.S. was making this up that Russia was going to attack.
In eastern Ukraine itself, an artillery bombardment sent soldiers and journalists scrambling for cover, including further back, us.
Okay, so there's just been a couple of explosions. The kids are...
Holy shit, explosions in war? Explosions when one country's invaded? Who could have predicted that shit? Freaking Ray Charles need to go out there and be a news reporter.
Lines. And this just shows you how dynamic the situation is here.
Commanders told us the ongoing conflict here suddenly took a dramatic turn on Thursday when Russian-backed rebels intensified the shelling of Ukrainian military positions and civilian areas alike.
Well, the whole
Okay, so we're showing kids, schools, soccer balls, destruction. This is a propaganda shot to enrage people against Putin. This almost looks like, because it comes across here, this looks like a man fired. This isn't like a missile from the ground. In a minute, you're going to see video of something hitting right here, and it either looks like it was air launched or it's a mortar, and I can't tell. Somebody else might be able to pick it out. I get a very short blurb of it, but you'll see that.
Positions and civilian.
just nothing like this.
Separatist leaders have ordered.
Oh, look at the pretty pink suitcases. Oh, look at the panic. Look at the people running now. They've had 2 months to try and plan something. 2 months. Now we have buses and pink suitcases with wheels, and women and children are leaving. Okay. Not like
the evacuation of women, children, and the elderly to Russia, they say, for their own safety.
Now, they say these people are going to Russia for their own safety. So if Russia and Ukraine are together and Russia's attacking, everybody from Ukraine just go to Russia and be safe. Russia then comes in, fights nobody, takes over the area, and then you get to come back under Russia. Pretty good plan.
Residents turned refugees now used as weapons in a propaganda war.
Okay, so I must show that video on another video of that thing hitting it, because I thought I had that. Okay, this is funny as shit, people. So I don't know who this dude is, but he's freaking pretty funny. It's a black conservative perspective. I like this dude. I've never seen him before. What has he got? 338 subscribers. Damn, good for him. So this woman here, she's a woman. She's in the military, so that means she's equal, right? And she's ready to fight, right? Dude, he's got this video. If you want to go watch the whole video, it's pretty funny. I'm going to bump through it. She's here talking about how she's in the military, blah, blah, blah. And then in a minute, you'll see her crying.
Because hold on, I got to move out right now. Y'all don't understand how mad I am right now. Like,
oh, man, she's mad. Got that uniform and a gun. She's a military soldier. She's mad.
got
Few moments later.
Here she's dancing.
Well, I'm gonna try to keep it together.
Now she's crying, trying to keep it together. This guy's pretty funny with his captions.
But I just want to make this TikTok because I was just on live this morning, and of course we all know Russia invaded Ukraine. But in this TikTok, like, of course, you know, okay, I'm in uniform. Everybody knows what's going on. So, of course, everybody coming in with the Ukraine, Russia, and all of that, you know, comments or whatever, asking questions. And I'm just like, I'm not here for that. I'm not addressing any of that. But then, like, it's just like, I really hated how people are so insensitive, especially, like,
look at his comment.
It's the civilians. But they're so insensitive to, like, what military people really go through.
I'm trying to be sensitive.
This is my first term. And like, it's like, y'all, like, what makes me so mad is like, y'all are so insensitive. Y'all want to talk about, oh, this is what you signed up for. This is what nobody goes into the military wanting to go to war, thinking they're going to go to war. I'm financed, for crying out loud. Nobody thinks this is going to happen.
Nobody thinks it's going to happen.
Like, civilian.
Like, I went in the military to get equal pay and equal everything, and I deserve it, and I'm empowered, and you people are inside. I'm trying to be sensitive, okay? Go watch this video. It's pretty funny. This guy's hilarious. All right, so the Black Conservative Perspective. Name of the video, Strong Independent Woman Breaks Down in Tears After Equality Goes Wrong. I could have wrote the title of this video. This dude and me are brothers from a different mother. I love this guy. Rick, you shouldn't be laughing. All right, whatever. All right, so what did I want to say on this video here? I'm missing on my comments. My guys are making some good comments. Let me get some comments about this one. Staged? Oh, here's another guy. Oh, this is just staged. Some woman's trying to do. She wasn't really crying. Oh, okay. I got it. Are you kidding me? Come on, people. Oh, shit. Send her to the front line. She says later on in there, I'm really scared that I gotta go. And my life, they could just tell me I gotta leave. You people get to go home, and I might have to get on a plane in an hour. Oh my God, are you kidding me? But Rick, women are just as strong, and you just hate women, and they're more empowered. And oh my God, are you kidding me? Come on, people. Feelings over facts. Exactly. That's the problem. Oh, now she's a crisis actor. Okay, so it's not true, because all women are really strong, and no woman would ever act like this woman. So it must be staged. Are you kidding me, people? Come on. Video of Russia killing the father and dog is, Dad, please don't die. Oh, so he's got it in parentheses. Dad, please don't die. Must be that video. Wow, man, that's pretty tough. I don't know if I'll look that up right now. I feel embarrassed for her. I don't feel embarrassed for her. She's empowered. She will be tomorrow, after this hits, she will be the poor victim. She'll be emotionally distraught. She can't do it. The military has stressed her out because they put her in a job and she didn't know she'd have to go to war, and she wants a retirement, and they'll give her a retirement and a retired ID card, and she'll get to get out. And meanwhile, all the men will have to go fight. And then we'll say she'll pair. And now, 6 months from now, she'll be showing her ID. Yeah, I served. Yeah, I was in during the Russian war. See my ID card? Yeah, I was a bad mofo. Yeah, okay, whatever. Please. All right. So what the hell else did I want to do? All right. This video.
Along with their tanks, artillery, equipment, and field hospitals across their border, and many others inside of Belarus.
How is this volume? Because it's really hard, because I can't play the volume from the video. I have to play the volume through my speakers, and it's through the microphone. And sometimes I get distortion if I turn it up too loud. Can somebody give me a comment on how my volume is on these videos? Is it too loud, or should I turn it down? I'll watch the comments as it's playing.
Along their border with Ukraine. For comparison, this is nearly the same size as the
Thanks,
entire
Bobby.
Ukrainian military, and about the same number of troops sent by the United States when invading Iraq in 2003. This is certainly large enough to be an effective invasion force. Even further, the Russian government has recognized the independence of the two breakaway states inside of Ukraine.
So this video is a really great video to go understand Putin's side. Now, I'm not saying this is a pro-Putin video, but this video totally makes it logical for me to say why Putin has some legitimate concerns and reasons for what he's doing. I'm not saying he should be doing it. I'm not pro-Putin. I'm just saying, if you watch this video, it's really educational about the history and what's going on and what he did to Crimea and why he wants to. I mean, this guy lays it out on what the sea, the different. It's just a really great video to understand the Warsaw Pact, on how it used to be back when the Soviet Union was there. All these countries were in the Warsaw Pact, so Russia wasn't threatened. And now they're not in the Warsaw Pact. And now he is threatened. And why Ukraine is such a strategic point in this video. He just does a really, really great job. This video is why Russia is invading Ukraine, and it's on real life lore. I watched it at 1.5 speed, but it is just a great educational video to explain
Aren't
exactly.
as grave of a geographical threat. Conversely, however, if Ukraine became a NATO member state, it would surge the NATO front lines far beyond the Carpathian Mountains and far across the wider section of the North European plain, and place the new defensible front line across nearly 2,300 kilometers of open, hard-to-defend, flat land, the easternmost section of which, and cut off Russia's valuable oil and gas resources coming up from around the Caspian Sea.
He also covers in here, and I didn't know this, there is an area that they get most of their water in Russia from this river that runs through Ukraine. And Ukraine has dammed that river up. So that pissed Russia off, because you took water away, and now we can't get water in part of our country because you dammed it up. So there's a lot of little things in the background. Of course, we never know all the information on why Russia's doing what he's done. And it makes sense if you go watch this video. Really good video.
See from the rest of the country, as nearly happened during the Second World War, back when the city was better known as Stalingrad. Even further, Belarus, a friendly and loyal CSTO state that is often considered founded entirely but overall economics. Russia is the world's second largest producer of oil, ahead of even Saudi Arabia, while at the same time,
Russia is ahead of Saudi Arabia for oil. Wow.
Russia also possesses the world's largest proven reserves of natural gas, largely across Siberia, which has enabled Russia to become the world's leading exporter of natural gas. The revenues gained from the sale of all these oil and gas exports are the literal foundation for the modern Russian state and Russian power, because they provide as much as 50% of the entire Russian government's budget and represent about 30% of Russia's entire GDP.
So if you understand that Russia is all about energy, and you understand that Ukraine has a lot of resources that Russia could be using, that Putin could be getting cuts from when he's selling or putting in his oligarchs or whatever he's doing in that to get his cut. There is a lot of lost revenue, plus strategic landmass border-wise, there is good benefit for Russia. Plus, it gives them an extra. Nobody wants to be landlocked. No country wants to be landlocked because it's not good. Ukraine kind of stops Russia from being landlocked more if it becomes NATO.
Russia has used the vast money earned from selling oil and gas abroad to fund their military, pay off debts, save cash, and finance its own restoration as a global great power. Russia is therefore effectively a petrostate, just like Saudi Arabia or Iran, and is the only petrostate, so much so that 35% of the EU's entire gas supply comes from Russia alone.
35% goes to EU. So when Russia says, I can cut you off, he can. If he cuts you off in the winter, a lot of people freeze. That's called political power. He has influence over you because he can change your quality of life. Just like Saudi Arabia can produce less gas and raise our gas prices. They have control over us. Most smart countries try to mitigate that, and they produce their own energy, and then they don't need to reply. Like we shouldn't have to rely on freaking Saudi Arabia unless you put Biden in, and then he stops our production and he makes us more dependent on Saudi Arabia, and we're buying oil, supporting Russians' military buildup so they can take over Ukraine. And people are like, oh man, we're putting sanctions on them. We're buying their freaking oil. Are you kidding me? Come on.
Including Germany, the world's fourth largest economy, who imports nearly half of their natural gas from Russia. This flow of gas towards Germany and Europe across this complex system of pipelines provides critical revenue. Had no other choice but to agree, because the pipeline infrastructure anywhere else didn't yet exist. As late as 2005, 80% of Russia's gas exports heading to Europe were still flowing across pipelines through Ukraine.
80% of what Russia exported was going through Ukraine. More reason on how Ukraine is affecting Russia. Russia doesn't like that.
In the decades since, Russia has sought to solve this over-reliance to Black Sea. By 2024, Russia has planned to completely cease all of their gas exports through Ukraine, and within the Black Sea may contain more than 2 trillion cubic meters worth of natural gas.
So if Russia, he already took Crimea, if he takes Ukraine, he gets all this energy and oil that has been discovered. Gee, why would Putin want to go over to Ukraine for no reason? There is a reason.
Largely concentrated around the Crimean Peninsula. To make matters even more interesting, further technological advancements in the early 2010s that enabled the successful drilling of natural gas and oil from shale rock unlocked the potential shale gas hotspots for Ukraine around Donetsk and Kharkiv in the east.
Wow, Ukraine got a whole bunch of energy that Russia could have now. If Russia doesn't mess with Ukraine, once they get all this oil out, guess what? They get more money. They can build up their military. They can build up their border. They can become friends with NATO. They may become NATO. Russia doesn't want that. I understand where Putin's coming from. I don't understand his solution, because I think he's getting the opposite of what he's trying to get. Government always creates what they say they're trying to prevent. Putin's trying to prevent NATO's growth and influence, and he's actually creating it with this. But how long will it last?
Around the Carpathians in the west. Beginning in 2012, there was suddenly a very real possibility that almost out of nowhere, Ukraine had the world's 14th largest reserves of natural gas, just behind Australia and Iraq. But as a relatively poor country, Ukraine lacked the finances, the technology, or the equipment to successfully harvest any of these resources in any large quantities. But that all changed when, shortly afterwards, the Ukrainian government began draining.
Ukrainian government brought in U.S. Another threat to Putin's like, damn, I could be doing that. I could be getting this money. When my guy was in charge, before they put in this new guy, that would have been all my shit. And now we got this new guy, and he's giving all this business to the USA. So this video really put a lot of lights on for me. Like, I get why this isn't just about Russia saying, I want more land. It's a lot deeper than that, which almost all wars come down to resources. You have something that I want or need, or religion. Usually those are your things. Everything we're seeing is fighting or helping one world government. Well, that's probably true. President Ford wanted to bring Russia into NATO in the 70s. It was a great idea. Well, it could have been. I mean, that if they would have went, that would have been good. Why wouldn't somebody want to be in NATO? The reason why nobody wants to be in NATO is because you give up your sovereignty. Just like I don't want to be part of the federal government in Texas. I wish Texas was not part of the federal government. If we kick the federal government out, we have freedom. We don't have to listen to the federal government to tell us what we can do with our gas, with our guns, with our border. Federal government doesn't have influence on us. Fuck you. You're out of the state. We're our own independent state. That's why I don't like the federal government. Well, nobody wants to be in NATO because when you get in NATO, guess what? Now NATO gets to tell you what you can and can't do. They can enforce rules. They can tell you have to do this. You have to pay to be in NATO. It costs you money. So is your return worth what you get? It's only worth it if you need it. It's like insurance. I pay insurance, but if I don't have an accident, I'm just giving away my damn money. Do I really need insurance? I need it if I get in an accident, but until then, I don't really need it. So
exploration and drilling rights to the likes of Shell and Exxon. It was suddenly possible that within a few years, these Western companies would enable Ukraine to transform into Europe's second petrostate, which would have not only been a direct and serious competitor to Russia's own gas supply to the European Union, and thus at the same time a major threat to the Russian government's budget and GDP, but would have also provided the easy path of eventual Ukrainian admission into the European Union and NATO as well. And this is what's really, in my opinion, what this whole situation is truly about. In 2012, at the time when these discoveries were initially made, the man in charge of Ukraine was Viktor Yanukovych, a pro-Russian politician who was keeping Ukraine more politically aligned with the interests of Moscow. So long as he was president, these discoveries were not directly threatening to Russia, but when suddenly in February 2014, his government was toppled in a pro-EU and pro-Western revolution in Kiev, Moscow was very quick to take the opportunity to invade some of Ukraine, seize the Crimean Peninsula, and annex it in the name of historical claims and protecting ethnic Russians. But by seizing Crimea, the Russians also took direct control of 2/3 of Ukraine's coastline, and by extension, the vast majority of Ukraine's maritime exclusive economic zone, and most critically, an estimated 80% of Ukraine's potential offshore oil and gas reserves.
Okay, this is a good video. It's 30 minutes long. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I hopefully gave you enough of a teaser that if you really want to learn what's going on, this guy does a fantastic job of laying out truth police and facts that things that are going on. And I don't think this guy is propaganda by no means. He seems pretty freaking neutral. All right. So I got other videos that I got to get to. So that video is great. It is a great video. I don't know if you watched it or if you want to go watch it, but Putin's girlfriend's Olympian gymnast, half his age. They have 4 kids together. Yeah, she got away on one of his boats. I don't have that article up either, but she made it out on one of his yachts. I call it a boat, but it's, I don't know, $200 million or $400 million. I don't know, 400 feet or 300 feet boat. Anyway, all right, so go watch that video if you want to get on it. What is this? Oh, this is the funny shit. I'll save this one for later. What is this one? Everything wrong with the Capitol shooting in less 21 minutes. This is off topic. This guy, I got kind of mixed reviews on this guy. He wants to see what he wants to see. He says everything wrong with the Capitol shooting in 21 minutes. He points out a lot of things, and he's trying to paint a picture that it was all staged and that the girl that was killed is fake and it's flake blood and she took a blood droplet. And he just goes too far off on a tangent to me that, I mean, he's just like the alien police. You would swear the aliens ran this. So I didn't think it had a lot of credibility, although he points out some pretty good facts in the middle of all his bullshit. So I think the video is worth watching. I don't think it's going to convince you that she really didn't get killed and it was fake, but I think that's what he tries to say that he believes. If you want to go watch it, everything wrong with the Capitol shooting, 21 minutes, it's on Think for Yourself. I don't think it's Think for Yourself. I think he's telling you what's happening, but whatever. I thought it was pretty good, so I wanted to flag it for you guys. What is this? Ukraine. Oh, wherever there are blacks, there is racism, and they never get a fair deal. I mean, is anybody got video camera in Africa to where Africans are claiming racism when a black person does something wrong to them? I mean, is there just racism? I saw a video where they were getting women and children on a bus, and they didn't want to get a black guy on because they said women and children, and somehow it's racist, and now everybody's saying they're being racist. And I'm just like, I'm just so tired of the victimhood everywhere. It's always not my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. You owe me because of my color. It's just old. And I know that even good black people are tired of hearing it, because it's just like, I don't want to be a victim. I don't want to get hired because of my color. I don't want to get special benefits. Just treat me fair and equal. I'm not asking for more. You know, Martin Luther King said, don't give me more because of my color. Give me what's equal and fair. And that's all I think most good people want. But this constant race baiting and always the victim is just so freaking old. Okay, so this was a really great speech. I'm not a fan of Hawaii because I think it's a left-wing loon. And this woman is a Democrat, and I'm not a fan of Democrats. And I thought, Pat's the one that told me, he goes, man, you got to go listen to this girl. She sounds like a conservative. I go, ain't no damn liberal sound like a conservative to me. She's full of shit. But I went and listened to it. It's a good listen. This woman talks at CPAC. It's on Forbes Breaking News. Tulsi Gabbard warns of threat to freedom and civil liberties at CPAC. So this woman sounds like a hardcore conservative. How the hell she can say she's a Democrat in Hawaii, and I don't think she is elected anymore. How the hell she can say that, I don't know. But everything she says, I almost 100% agree with. And I don't ever agree with a freaking liberal Democrat. Never. And I agree with everything she said. Great speech by this woman.
And thanks, Matt and Mercy, and just thanks all of you for your kind and warm welcome. You are making me feel right at home. Created with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
What'd she do with this hairstyle? Isn't there like a superhero that got struck by lightning? What was that, X-Men or something? Didn't one girl who was Lightning Girl get struck in the head and she had like one white thing? Is that what she's... Never mind, I digress.
Our freedom comes from God, not from any other person, not from anyone in government.
She lost me a little bit there. I guess I can't say I agree with everything, but...
Our freedom comes from God, and to recognize others as children of God is to appreciate that we belong to God.
See, the problem with pushing God in politics is you isolate everyone that doesn't necessarily believe in your God. So the conservatives have kind of bent this a little bit, saying, well, God could be Allah and it could be Buddha or whoever, and it can be your own God. You just have to have faith and belief in something, and therefore then you're okay. And they kind of toned it down. But it used to be our God. Only our God is right. Our God. And most religious people are like that. Mine is right. My religion is right. My God's right. My God's better than your God. My imaginary friend. And so that's why I just don't like religion in the middle of this shit. Freedom isn't given to me by somebody. It's what I make of my life and what I demand and think and I want to fight for. If you want to give up your freedom, you give it up. And you give it up by either non-action or whatever. I don't think there is a free country out there that says, I don't have to have guns and I don't have to fight. I'll just let God give me my freedom. That ain't going to happen. Rick, that's not what they mean. Because in the Bible, God tells you that you should. I get it, people. I just wish they would leave it out of politics. It turns off some people. And then other people want to say, well, my God's right. My God doesn't believe what your God does. So therefore, we can't be on the same side. And it's just a division thing with color, sex, which bathroom you use. Let's just get back to good and evil and right and wrong.
And no one else. So naturally, therefore, no one has the right to take away that intrinsic freedom which God has given us. This is the foundation of the social construct of the United States of America. This is what is at the foundation of our Constitution. And we heard a lot from Glenn tonight about the First Amendment, about free speech, about the Bill of Rights. And our First Amendment, as you well know, says Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. This foundation of freedom is what makes us who we are as Americans.
She gives a hell of a speech. I'm telling you, I'm not a left-wing closet liberal freaking commie, but this Democrat from Hawaii, which is left-wing as shit, Hawaii's right there with New York and California, and I was there for 3 freaking years. I hated it, and that was back in the 80s, and it was freaking total left-wing, anti-gun registration of guns. You can't own a gun without registering it. I mean, it is pure commie in Hawaii, but I digress. If you want to go watch it, I think she gives a great freaking speech. Let's see what we got here. This was more another video to where black people are being left out and they're the victim and it's not their fault and they're fleeing and they want everyone else to cater to them. Even though there's hundreds of other refugees of different color, it's only them that are being penalized by this war. So fucking old. What is this? Oh, this is a really odd video. I don't know why this freaking tank ran over this car. Did you guys see this? This was a really, I mean, and the guy lives. So the tank almost looks like it's little. So it almost looks like it's out of control. And I don't know if it intentionally did this because I just watch it spin out. It looks like it's losing control. It could be turning to try and hit this car. I don't know. So again, the person lives, they end up digging them out. And to have a tank go over you at that speed and a little car, I'm surprised the person lived, but that could have been his lucky day. But again, there's death and tragedy in war. So this is a great video on they don't like to be called, what is it, volunteers. So these guys are a bunch of guys that are just waiting for the war. So they're preparing and this news crew follows them around and they make some funny jokes. They're just a bunch of good dudes in my book. And they're just out there planning and they got their team together and they're the ones that got the little things with the things and they're shooting down the Russian, they're messing up the Russian drones with their I don't know if it's a EMP or whatever.
National volunteer movement that bolstered the Ukrainian army against Russia-backed separatists in 2014. In the last 8 years, the government has tried to integrate fighters known as volunteers into the military's official ranks. And official with these paramilitary fighters who seem to be operating there unofficially.
Okay, so the problem with this is these guys are in Ukraine and Ukrainian government doesn't want to acknowledge them because they're afraid that they will go out there, be mistaken for Ukrainian military, and they will end up escalating or starting a war. That's the problem with volunteers, is they're not in a chain of command. The benefit of volunteers is they're not in a chain of command. You can claim deniability. You can help them. They're helping you. An enemy of my enemy is my friend. So it seems to be like there's this official stance of Ukraine that we don't have volunteers and they're not operating with our help. And then the unofficial is the guys out in the command is actually helping and working with these guys. And they're sharing intel and making each other stronger, which is the way it should be. Because they're all Ukrainians and they all want the same goal. But government likes to have control.
Таких как я, как вот пацаны добровольцев, будут десятки тысяч.
So this is the little thing they shoot down drones with. I don't know how it works or what it is, but it's pretty cool.
Yuri Olshin goes by the call name Greek, and Ruslan Postovoy goes by Spider, and fighters in southeast Ukraine. From entering the conflict.
This is where this dude's kind of funny. They got all these guns and weapons and they're not operating under military. They work for the government. And he turns around and says, hey, just so you know, I don't have a driver's license. He's telling the news crew because he's making it funny. It's a joke. If you watch the video, you get it. He's pretty funny. He goes, you know, we're going into the military. We're taking you in an area you're not supposed to be. you're with us. We're not supposed to be here. But just so you know, I don't have a driver's license. So I just want to let, it was pretty funny.
Ukraito on a drive to the front lines, these guys breeze through military checkpoints to an open field.
Нам приходиться тут
Drones.
Це відшукає дрони. Засікає ціль, показує, де вона знаходиться.
засікли, нажали, зажали його і ждемо, коли вже вона тіряє.
So that's when they point at the drone and they take them. I don't know why they're shooting a drone. Maybe they can't make it land. Maybe they can just orientate it and makes it hover, and then they can shoot it. Because if you could make it land, you would want to take that and use it against them. But in the video, they say when they point it at it, it disorients it, and then they shoot it. So I'm thinking they can't make it land. They can only disorient it enough to let them get a shot off. Somebody said it's a simple GPS jammer. Okay. Is this a Sean Penn document? Is Sean Penn? I don't. Oh, he does kind of look like Sean Penn, I guess. You gonna get one of those and do a cleaning video? Hey, just for GP, for those that are here, I got 480 people here. I got one of those rare breed triggers that are supposedly hot shit, and I paid $411 for it. And I put it in 2 of my short ARs, and it didn't work. It needs to be in a full-size AR, and I don't have any full-size AR that I want to put that trigger in. I want to put it in one of my truck or in a pistol I have. And it doesn't work because the buffer and the spring isn't long enough or whatever. So I'm going to sell it for anybody, that my viewers that want it, for $300. I'll ship it to you, but I'll have to figure out the details and how we're going to do it and how I get the money first and make sure that you're, I can ship it to you and we're legal and we're not doing it. It's just a trigger. It's a drop-in trigger. Look up the rare bead reset trigger, and they got videos on it on how. I just don't want to go through trying to figure out, I cut up one spring and tried to change my spring and buffer, and I got like 3 shots one time, really quick. And I went, for a gun that I'm carrying, I want something that's reliable, and this just doesn't work in a short pistol. So if you've got a full-size AR and you want to drop a rare breed trigger in, I'm going to, I'll give you what you paid for it. Damn. Already? Maybe so. Send me an email, and you can use a fake account. I don't care. I'm not tracking. And the way I figured I would do it is I was going to say, if you give me a gift in PayPal, they don't take a cut. I get the money. I wouldn't do a purchase in PayPal, because then you can go, I didn't get it, or it doesn't work, and all that other shit. It's brand new. I put maybe 30, 60 rounds through it trying to get it to work. And I just could not get it to work with my short buffer in a pistol. And I have a rifle, but it's a short rifle, and the buffer and the spring just didn't work. And I cut down my buffer spring. I didn't modify the trigger. I modified my gun. They said there might be some modifications. If you buy it, you should go watch the video. He has like 5 videos, and he explains the buffer. He shows him putting it in a gun. He shows it working, but he says there might be modification, etc. I had to modify one of my pistols because it wouldn't fit. It was an Olympic lower, and it was too small, so I had to file down. And it's just minor gunsmithing. I didn't change the frame, and it was a thick part. It just wouldn't fit right above the safety. My Olympic, it wouldn't fit. My other one, it dropped right in. It wasn't a problem. But my Olympic, I had to file down a little bit. So when he talks about minor gunsmithing, he means it may be a little tight. You may have to adjust the pins. But it's brand freaking new. I just got it. And if you buy it from me, then there's no tracking. I bought it through a credit card, and they shipped it to my house. So they say I have it. It's legal. It says it's legal. And we're not doing anything illegal. It's a semi-automatic trigger. It just allows you to shoot a little bit quicker. So anyway, I'll see maybe if I get some emails, or if you maybe just send me $1 in PayPal with an explanation, because you can type a little thing and with contact info, and then I can contact you. And we'll see. Start a bidding war. Yeah, I don't want to make money on it. And I don't want to get in a big bidding war. If you want to go buy one, there's no reason to get a bidding war. They've got them on. I ordered it, and they shipped it. They gave me a tracking number, and it came within 2 or 3 days. It was here. So if you go to their Rare Bead website, they have them. They're in stock. I think they're $398, and then they charge you for shipping. So it comes out to, I think, $411. And I've run it once as I saw it, and I go, man, that thing is cool. I really want to get one while it's legal and make sure I can own it. So I ordered it, and I cannot get it to work on my shorties. And my long ones, I already have the triggers that I want in it. And I was like, you know what? I'll just see if one of my viewers want it. I'll give them a $100 discount or whatever. But, you know, I mean, if I get my money back and you want it, I mean, that'll be cool too. But whatever. I'll ship it in a UPS box with a tracking number. So you get it. If you want to send me cash, maybe with a tracking number, that way I can just throw away your envelope. I don't even know who you are in that. But I don't want to have a bunch of people sending me a bunch of cash because I won't know how to do it. That's why I was thinking, if I get the money, if I get one person, maybe send me $1 on PayPal with an explanation on how you want it, etc., and that you're legal and everything. I probably want to email something that says, you know, you're legal and you're not violating any laws, because I don't know if they're legal in California. Somebody can maybe tell me. But anyway, I'll buy it. See, I have a bunch of people that want to buy it. Good. I know I can get rid of it now, so that's cool. I would rather sell it to a fellow Texan because I know we're good, and it's in Texas. I knew a personal sale. New York and California, I'm a little leery because I don't know the laws and I don't want to get caught up and maybe violating something. I mean, I don't know. Can I even send a 30-round mag to California? If you can't have a 30-round magazine for your AR in California, is it illegal for me to send one? I don't even know. I mean, there's so many freaking laws. But anyway, I just wanted to mention it, and I'll do a video on it because I'm about to clean my AR that I shot. I ended up putting my old trigger back in it. And to be honest, with my trigger job, man, I can shoot freaking pretty damn quick. I went out there and I shot like 6 rounds in less than a second. And I was like, is this thing really that much different? I mean, if you have a good trigger already in it. But anyway, I digress. Where are we at here? So we went to this video here. If you want to go watch this, paramilitary ready to fight. It's on the New York Times website. And it's a pretty good little video on these guys. These guys are kind of funny. It just shows them training and some cool shit. They go talk with the commanders. They don't call themselves volunteer. The commander says we don't have volunteers when he was talking to the press. So they're playing a game that officially you guys aren't here and we're not helping you. Unofficially, we work together. You help us and we help you. Because the commander goes, yes, sometimes these guys, because they have drones, they'll give us information, intel, and I'll ask them to get something and they can help us because we don't have the ability. So it helps. Supposedly Ukraine, the greatest military, whatever, everybody's talking about how great they are. You know, they get drones support from these volunteers. All right. So I wanted to get that video out. You can tell I had a lot of things. That's his home. We already covered that. This is freaking great. I love this. I'll send legal shit to banned states. I'll mail you a 30 to California. Oh, so John Rice will send shit. He don't care. So if John Rice wants to buy it, you can make a deal with him to buy it from me and then buy it from him. I don't give a shit. As long as I don't know about it, I'm not involved. I got plausible deniability. I don't want to be involved in any illegal shit and get more on the radar than I already am. All right. This guy does a great video on the ship that they took from one of Russia's buddies. Now, an oligarch, from what I understand, an oligarch is, I haven't looked it up, but it's kind of like one of what I call a czar. When Biden and our presidents made all these czars, we're putting people in charge of shit that weren't really there. And now we're just kind of making them the hero of this area. And I think an oligarch is kind of what Putin does. He puts these civilians in charge of these military contracts and they get rich. And now they're buddies with Putin and they give Putin a kickback. So I think that's what an oligarch is. Somebody wants to explain in the comment better. I don't know. But this oligarch has this freaking boat that's got a submarine and a helicopter and I think a pool. Putin's boat has an indoor pool in his boat. An indoor pool in his boat. This boat that they seized, where did they seize it at? Man, it is freaking crazy. Let me see if I can find that shit.
Very in the early stages, we're starting to break. But if you listen to that, if you go by that, every story, it's a 6 meter.
This boat has a helipad. It's got a submarine. It's actually got speedboats on this boat. It's a 400-foot boat. Are you freaking kidding me? I think $400 or $600 million with the sanctions. The country just took it. Either France or Germany seized it. Now, the reason why that hurts Putin is this guy got rich off Putin and he's buddies with Putin and he's got a bunch of money. So if he's a billionaire and Putin's a billionaire and now he's losing money, is that going to make him turn against Putin and put pressure from Putin's inner circle? Maybe, maybe not. Somebody got a hell of a freaking boat for free. A government did. Took that shit. Crazy. So this is a good little video. And this guy supposedly is tracking. His name is ESYS Man Super Yachts. He's supposedly tracking all these ships because they have that radio signal. So he knows where Putin's ship is and all. And supposedly he's giving updates on all that. So if you're into that shit, this is the guy you need to go watch. But I thought it was pretty cool. This freaking 400-foot freaking boat with a helipad and then Putin's boat, I think, is only 200 or 300 feet. And he's got an indoor pool in his boat. Wow. All right. What is this? They're killing us. So this is from 2014. Okay, this video is Ukraine 2014, back when they elected this new guy and they got rid of the Putin buddy. See, Ukraine wasn't a threat back when the Putin buddy was in. And this is when the people turned against him. Watch them throw rocks.
Just luring the protesters from the Maidan, the public square where they were protected by the barricades. To out.
I want to make sure I get right here. They're throwing rocks. So this is what happened when you allow your government to tell you you don't need a gun and only government has gun. You end up being a rock thrower and a bullet catcher. And the government over here has bullets and they're shooting people for throwing rocks at them. If you remember, our country was pretty much started over a rock throwing incident. Some kids threw some rocks at some British soldiers, and the British soldiers shot the kids. And it was an outrage. And I think, was it Thomas Paine or John Adams, defended the British soldier because he said every man deserves a defense. And he literally defended the soldiers before this shit hit the fan and the Tea Party happened. Everybody wants to think, you know, the revolution started over a tea tax, but it wasn't. It was a Stamp Act. They were coming in. The government could come in, take your home, do all this other shit. So understanding that our country literally started the revolution over a rock throwing incident. Guess why? Because the British were taking guns and didn't want us to have guns. So the kids were throwing rocks. But anyway, I digress. I just thought it was interesting that in 2014, Ukrainian people were throwing rocks. They overthrew this guy, got some great comedian, this great guy that everybody loves in, and this guy kept the same policies. He wasn't giving out guns when he got elected. He's only giving out guns when he needs the pesky citizen to save his ass. That's why government, if government ever comes to me and asks for my help, they ain't getting it, especially the federal government. Texas government, maybe. Federal government can kiss my ass. Okay, they have done nothing but attack the pesky citizen and tax the shit out of me and take from me, and they are not my friend. And any enemy of them is my friend. Okay? Rick, you can't say that. If I was in Russia, I couldn't say that. If I was in Korea, I couldn't say that. The Dems and YouTube and Facebook would prefer it if I couldn't say that. But guess what? I can still fucking say it, and I just said it. How about that shit? All right, here we at. What was this one? World's first female pilot crashed $100 million jet. This is more equity hiring. This is more making us stronger because diversity is our strength. This female, they put her on a freaking $100 million plane and she crashed.
A video of the collision of an American F-35 fighter with the deck of an aircraft carrier. It became known that the world's first female F-35 pilot was at the helm of the U.S. Navy's fifth-generation fighter. This, according to American sources, was her first flight.
Yay, look at me. I'm empowered. I'm strong. I'm the face of all women. All you women can do this. As long as the government forces people to let you do it, all you women can be successful too, like me. She crashed a $100 million plane. Rick, that's not fair. She was really good. It was the plane's fault. It was the racist guy or the sexist guy that was waving her in and he gave her the wrong direction. It wasn't her fault. She's perfect. Okay. All right. I got it. Whatever. Freaking idiots. This little dude, I'm not sure why I even put this here. He was like reporting on something, but he kept, why did I save this?
He'll arm anyone who wants a weapon to fight against the Russians, against Putin.
That's why I saved it. Because this is where the guy's saying, I'll arm anyone. Yeah, now you'll arm anyone because your shit's weak. That's why you'll arm it. You didn't arm anyone when you got elected years ago. No, you didn't do that. You just want it now. See, the government always loves pesky citizens as they're about to get overthrown or on their way out. Then all of a sudden, we're friends. We're for you. We represent you. Meanwhile, when it's not that way, all they want to do is steal your freedom, steal your money, tell you what you can do, what you can't do, invoke more laws, more rules, more regulations, more inspections, more requirements because they want to keep you safe, when in fact they want to keep themselves safe. If people just understood government, we could shut government shit down like this, but whatever.
He's calling for blood donations, and he's saying he'll arm anyone. Anyone who wants a weapon to fight against the Russians can have it. It gives you a sense of the dire situation that could soon be developing here in Kyiv. Maria.
Yeah, okay, great. You can have a weapon now because I need you. As soon as the war's over, I'm going to take those weapons back because you don't need a gun, because guns are dangerous and you pesky citizens shouldn't have guns. Only us government should have guns. Isn't it funny how the narrative suddenly changes on a spin of a dime? All right, where are we at here? What was this one? Pentagon concerns Putin ramps up war with Ukraine.
Finding ways to slow down, to stymie, to frustrate those Russian advances on major population. Superior enemy with advanced capabilities at his disposal.
I don't even know why I saved this one, but I was just looking at all the different rifles. This guy right here, I think I saved it because this guy has an AR. Everyone else has an AK, and this guy has an AR.
But they are finding.
There it is. Got a little forward assist, so it's a new AR. It's not an old AR. The older ARs didn't have this forward assist. So it's a relatively new AR. When I say new, I mean the older style. I forgot when they started putting those on there. I can't remember the year. Somebody will spit it out here. But anyway, he's got a scope on an AR. I mean, 460 meters is the maximum effective range of this. But whatever. I mean, I've got an AR with a scope on it, but I've got a longer barrel. I've got a bull barrel. It's much more reinforced, and it'll reach out and touch a little bit further. And I would be shooting heavier bullets out of it, not regular bullets. But anyway, I think that's why I saved that one. What's this one? Concern over renewed violence, peacekeepers. Why did I save this one? Russia and Ukraine. I must have saved this for a reason.
He says more than 1,600.
Oh, this is where the doctors are crying over a baby that's dying, and they're trying to save a
have
baby.
been wounded. In Mariupol, medics worked tirelessly to try and save a 6-year-old girl hurt by Russian shelling.
Shit, hit the wrong button.
Have been wounded. In Mariupol, medics worked tirelessly to try and save a 6-year-old girl hurt by Russian shelling.
Show this to Putin. The eyes of this child and crying doctors.
The shocking.
So that's good propaganda for Putin hate. You always want to raise hate against your enemy. This is good propaganda for Putin hate. You show a kid, they're working on it, doctors are crying, there's blood, and a kid is dying because of Putin. And you blame it on him, kind of like they did with Trump. Everything that happened bad, it was Trump's fault. Good propaganda usually works. So is it working on Putin? I don't know, man. They're fucking seizing shit left and right everywhere. Oh, here's the missile that I showed earlier. Remember I told you I saw that like mortar come in? Watch this area right here. So if you go back frame by frame, you can see something coming in, but it's so quick I can't make it out. You see this right here? Here's the missile coming in. I'll get that. So I don't know if that's a mortar or if that's from an aircraft, but it's definitely coming down, whereas the one before came straight across. And I'm not even sure why they're bombing a freaking dead area. Are they trying to take this bridge out? I don't even know what the hell they're doing. But anyway, if you want to go watch this video, Ukrainian military released footage showing crossing point being shelled. It's on the Guardian News. So if you want to go inspect that yourself, I'll get to the comments here. I got 2 left. Here's where Kamala shows her strength and power and empowerment and wonderful and whatever.
Who assured him the U.S. stands with Ukraine.
If Russia further invades Ukraine, the United States, together with our allies and partners, will impose significant
an unprecedented economic cost.
Wow, that sounds pretty scary. I think I got a little scared to listen to her talk. I mean, I bet Putin is like, when he watched this, he was like, shit, I better get out of there, man. I'm kind of nervous now. Wow, that was scary.
Zelensky wants those sanctions imposed immediately because he says the current situation is destroying Ukraine's economy. In one eastern town, residents waited in a long line for the only ATM they could find.
Are you freaking kidding me? They have been amassing troops for 3 months, and you got people waiting in line to get money. But Rick, maybe they didn't know. Maybe you're an idiot.
In one eastern town, residents waited in a long line for the only ATM they could find still dispensing cash.
Wow. Shocking. Who could have predicted? Raise your hand if this is the first time in history that violence has broke out in a country and somehow people couldn't get money. Who's heard this for the first time right here, right now on Good Luck America? Freaking kidding me. All righty. And the last video I got, I don't even know why I have this. What is this? Hundreds of birds. Oh, this ain't even about Ukraine. Somehow I ran across this and it was pretty odd. All these freaking birds right here to get blown out of the freaking air. Pretty crazy video.
Birds literally falling from the sky into a neighborhood. What on earth was going on?
It's perfectly calm when suddenly this happens. A flock of black...
Holy shit! Those birds look like they were shot out of a cannon.
Birds swirl to the ground. It's like nothing you've ever seen before.
When I first saw it, I said, obviously a predator came by and attacked the herd, kind of like a whale, where all the fish jump out of the water when a whale tries to grab them. I was like, a predator must have came by and they all just went, oh shit, and dutched down. But it could have been some electronical, I don't know what the hell it is. Shit.
Hundreds of the birds appear like a plume of black smoke. A moment later, many of them fly off, but lots are killed on impact.
These are all the liberals that were like, government should protect us. We can just fly around aimlessly and not worry about it because government will protect us. These are all these birds, okay? This is your liberal population. The birds flying away free is your conservative population. That's conservative, Democrat, kind of making it easy, simple for you so Ray Charles can see it.
The video was caught on a surveillance camera in Mexico. So what's going on here? There is speculation the birds were hit by toxic fumes or electrocuted. But this expert says they were likely under attack by a predator.
I would go with the predator. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting. All right, let's get to the comments here, because shit. I'm almost out of coffee. Aliens. See, I thought it was aliens. Somebody else said it was aliens. That's what I thought. They were running from the aliens. Nanotech. I mean, it could be a lot of things. It's definitely odd. If it was closer to some military base, if this happened in Area 51, I'd be like, freaking U.S. government's up to no good shit. That ain't no accident. But because it happened in Mexico, I'm like, who knows? Maybe they freaking were making heroin or something and Puff went in the air and it killed. I don't know. Whatever. Okay. EMP. I don't know if an EMP causes them to fly downward like that. I can see it messing up and disorient their flight and maybe their things. But these birds, that's why I thought it was a predator attack. They look like they were hauling ass from something or being shot out of something. Could it be a large EMP shock that electrocuted them? I don't know. It was pretty odd. That was a weapon. Maybe. I don't know. I thought it was kind of odd. I saw a video with the birds a couple weeks ago. Crazy. When all the birds hit the ground, it looks like the new Dracula movie. I don't watch Dracula movies. I'm not into vampire movies. I don't know why. I just can't get into it. Hey, there are a lot of Americans that be doing the same thing with shit at the fan, unlike me. What the fuck? Those birds are crazy. All righty. So shit, a lot of stuff. And I've been on for 2 hours and 20 minutes. So I got 477 people. I think I went up to 500 for a while. Hit the like because it pisses YouTube off and it probably helps share the video. I'll answer questions now that I'm caught up on the comments. I can't go back to all the other comments, but if you have things that you wanted me to discuss or you wanted to point out, now would be the time to do it. I'm on like a 10-second delay because I'm on StreamYard. So if you post it and I don't answer right away, this is the most current comment right here. And I will click on the next current comment. That's the next current. Do you think Alex Kokakakakakawin put a bounty on Putin for protection of. Oh, is that the millionaire? I forgot to mention that. I wanted to look up that article and have that also. There was a millionaire that put out $1 million bounty on Putin. And I was like, dude, that dude's life must be shit. If he's living in Russia and you put out $1 million bounty on Putin, your days are numbered. It was an omen. All right. Have a great rest of your weekend. You too, Jennifer. Thanks for coming. Are you going on live tonight? Have you lost your freaking mind? He's rebooting the USSR. NATO will do nothing. All right, maybe. We'll see. Time will tell. Probably Jack. Jack Daniels? Watch Mark Dice video from a day is freaking funny as shit. I didn't even Mark Dice was making videos. I thought he was kind of like done. What do you think of Walmart shoplifter who got shot in the head and survived? I saw that video. I got to do that. That's on my list to do a video on. That was pretty amazing. I'm okay with him getting shot. What's your opinion on actual risk of Russian causing nuclear? Man, you know, that is just a swinging wild ass guess if I had to say on that, because I really have no facts. I'm not up on, if I was still in the military and was getting intel reports and we were updating and upgrading and knew all the threat cons and knew where we were moving troops and what we were doing. I mean, if I knew that all of our, like those little Hunter subs that we talked about with all the nukes, I don't know if I talked about them. Did I talk about them? The Hunter boats that supposedly have like 120 missiles on them, and each missile has like 20 warheads, nuclear warheads, and we've got like 20 of those ships that cruise around in silence that nobody knows where they're at, and as soon as they're detected, they come back into shore. If I knew that all those boats were close to Russia, and they can hit them anywhere. I mean, those boats can fire anywhere in the world. They can fire from the boats. It's just if they're farther away from the target, it takes longer to hit. If they're right off the Russian shore and they fire, the hit's almost immediately. So if I knew that we had a few of our submarines close to the Russian border and a bunch of those boats around Russia, I would be a little bit more nervous. But I don't know all the intel. So what do the wild card in this going nuclear, I think, is Putin. Is all this heat and sanctions and pressure that he's getting, is that enough to make him go, you know what? I'm going to go with the Bob Dylan song. When you ain't got nothing, you got nothing to lose. If he gets to the point to where he thinks he ain't got nothing, he got nothing to lose. Now, me personally, I would have no problem with us putting a drone with no markings and his $2 billion home, leveling that freaking home. A missile comes in, doesn't know who from. It hits his freaking $2 billion home, and he lost his home and all his personal possessions. That's sending a message. Now, would that cause him to nuke everybody? Would that cause him to say, I know the U.S. did it, I'm going to nuke the U.S.? Would that cause him to go scorched earth and I'm sending nukes everywhere? I don't know. But me, maybe that's why you don't want me as president. If I really decided and I gave him a warning, you need to stop this Ukraine shit or bad things are going to happen, I might blow up his $2 billion home and go, shit happens. Wasn't us. Prove it. You want to go to war over it? Let's go. I mean, we got nukes. You got nukes. If that's willing for you to kill everybody on earth, I'm not going to put up with your bullshit. Now, is that what you want? Two guys with nuclear weapons having an argument and both saying, fuck it, we'll both use them? You probably don't want that, but how do you control somebody who's a tyrant and he's got nukes and he's running roughshod over everybody in the world and he's holding the entire world hostage right now? Everybody is screwed if Putin decides to use his nukes. When you get somebody unstable like that, that's why I think they're jumping on this war crime shit. If they jump on the war crimes, he's killing kids. See, the only time you can go after leaders of countries is if they're guilty in the courts of public opinion or whatever of war crimes. And right now there's all kind of hearings about Putin with war crimes. If this court, and whether or not it's kangaroo court or bullshit court, comes through, and if they say he's guilty of war crimes and he needs to be taken into custody to stand for that, then they're allowed to kill him and nuke him or do what we need to do. And if they do that, I think I'm hearing thunder out there. If they do that, will that be enough to push Putin over there to go, fuck it, if they're going to come get me, I might as well just launch my nukes? Is there enough people under him to say he's about to go over the edge? We don't want to start a nuclear war. We're not going to launch nukes, even if he tells us to. We don't know. Again, there's all kind of intel that we don't know. So if I had to take an educated guess on how this, it all depends on what happens next, because it depends. It depends if Ukraine goes easy. It depends if he gets what he wants. It depends how much he wants more. It depends what UK, what Poland, what the refugees. It depends on whether or not he gets charged with war crime. There's so many it depends. It's hard for anybody to say, oh, this is it. War is just that evolving thing that you just don't know what happens next till it happens, because it's constantly changing. No live tonight. Thanks, Lee, for telling people that. I will send Ukraine weapons if they send me ladies. Fair swap. I'd probably trade a gun for a couple little Ukrainians. Iranians. No, I don't want Iranians. I want Ukrainians. Let's see. Rick, you please say what? Please say akakakabak bully rat. Bullyat? Bullyat. Akakak bullyat? Sorry, dude. Why are you trying to get me to butcher a name? You got to spell it out phonetically. Quicot. Bullyak. I got bully. That's the only thing I got. Sorry, dude. I blame NATO for this shit. Well, who's NATO? The U.S. is NATO. The U.S. runs NATO. We put in the most money, even though everybody has a seat. I mean, everybody says that U.S. doesn't run it. It's board. They all vote, blah, 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 blah. NATO did, I think, support us to go into Iraq or Afghanistan, one of them. We didn't have NATO support. We said, fuck NATO. So who runs NATO? And how much power does NATO have? I don't know if that's a fair analysis of NATO that they're to blame for this. But, Taiwan is next. I tend to agree. Rick, you got the Kalashnikovs, the same gun that's given to Iranians. Oh, Klinikskox. Is that one of my AKs? I've got like 6 or 7 AKs. I love my AKs. I did a video on my AKs. When is General Rick Gore going to lead us to freedom? Look, I ain't leading nobody nowhere. But I tell you what, if Texas gets away from the freaking feds, I'll be happy to jump up to governor or president of Texas, and the feds will be like hating Rick Gore and Texas. Guaranteed. I guarantee if Rick was in charge of a state, the feds would hate me. And to me, that's a badge of honor. You think has a big body count, Putin or Hillary? Putin's got the bigger body count. Although Hillary's got a good body count, I think Putin's got her on this one already. The brain of a liberal. The bird brain liberal, NATO is absolutely fully to blame. Wow, John thinks so. Did you ever lay out the terms? I missed it if you laid out the terms. You have to lay it out in the comments so I can go back and review it later. Lindsey Graham and the bounty. They want World War III. Anybody that wants World War III is a dangerous fool. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm all for fighting for shit, but man, if nukes are used, there's just no winners. I mean, unless the U.S. has some really secret shit that nobody knows about, and we can disable nukes in the air and they won't explode when they hit, unless we have some secret alien technology that can do that shit. I mean, the only way to stop a nuclear war is to not have. I mean, it's just fucked. I mean, nukes are bad shit. I'm sorry. Nuclear accidents are bad shit. I'm gonna buy some ski pants. Have a good one. You go get those little ski pants. I love little. Make sure they're tight, because I like little ski bunnies on a ski slope and tight little pants. But they can't be tight when you're skiing because they rip, because your legs will split and everything. So you kind of got to wear loose pants when you're skiing. Sorry, Rick. Now, if you're wearing shorts in California, sometimes on sunny day, little ski bunnies would have shorts on. That's a great ski look. You got shorts, and the boots kind of look like cowboy boots. Texas, a good look for a woman, a little short sundress or skirt with cowboy boots. That's a good look. I've never seen a little skirt on a ski slope. Seen boots because you got ski boots, but I digress. Hillary, I saw that. Rick, I like the Saturday morning routine better. Really? All right. Do you think it's beginning to rebuild U.S.? I'm not sure. I mean, obviously anybody wants more people and more property and more real estate. Putin's the richest man in the world. What does he really need? Why does he want to build? Why does he want more? I mean, how much more does he want? Does he want to be like Pinky in the Brain and take over the freaking world? I mean, is that his plan? Was that Hitler's plan? I don't even know if that was Hitler's plan. Everybody says it was, but Was it? I mean, we don't know. Who knows what goes on in the mind of a tyrant? Because it's just, you can't have a reasonable conversation with somebody who's unreasonable. You can't have a logical conversation with a tyrant because all they know is power, fear, bully, control, money, me. Dictator, tyrant, whatever you want to call it. The attack on New Plant was the scariest moment. I thought that was pretty ballsy. But guess what? It had great psychological impact. It scared everybody. Fear is a huge motivator and enabler and freaking power, government. Fear is the key. There's a truck out there that I don't recognize. Might be my neighbors. So fear is fantastic. Hitting a nuke plant is great psychological advantage. Moving your people around it, knowing nobody will attack you now, is a great target. I mean, look, I may not like Putin, but his tactics on that plant, I think were pretty solid. Sorry. Rick, you're just loving Putin. You just what? Whatever. Monkey looks like a Russian blue. He is a Russian blue, little communist. He's probably out there in the garage right now with a little freaking. He's communicating. Him, Trump, and freaking Putin. They're all in it together. See you, Lee. Yeah, all of us before you sign off. Rick, yell at us. I gotta get somebody who's got to get something to yell at. I just can't make up a yell. Chernobyl plant is currently neutral territory and has both Russia. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Oh, I did not know that. Good piece of advice. Good intel. Don't confuse Mark Trice with Andy. Oh, that's who I was thinking. Good catch, Marlene. See, she knew what I was talking about. When I said Mark Dice, I was thinking Andrew Dice Clay. I don't even know who Mark Dice is, I guess. Shit. Ukraine, Russia still fight. One world government first step. Yeah, I don't know. If Putin is anti-one world government, I would be on his side. But I think he's only anti-one world government unless he's in charge of the one world government. See, that's the problem with dictators, communists, socialists, liberals, YouTube, Facebook. They don't like things when other people get it. They only like it when they can do it. They don't like censorship only if they can censor what they don't like. Okay? They don't like certain things because they always think they can do it better. If I was in charge, everybody thinks socialism is great. It's just never been run by the right person, even though it's a total complete failure. It was a failure when our ships landed on America. They said everybody's going to share shit. Everybody will work equally, and there'll be no one less or higher, and we're going to make everything equal. And guess what? There were lazy motherfuckers that didn't want to work, and they sat around and ate and lived off everyone else that was working and building shelters and doing shit. And then sooner or later, other people who were working said, fuck, if these people can sit around and not work and get everything that I work for, why should I fucking work? I'll just sit around with them. And it was a complete failure. And finally, they had to get there and go, hey, you get to keep what you make, and then you can trade and barter and sell, and we'll make it more of a free economy type situation. Guess what? Then the lazy motherfuckers who couldn't get shit for free had to work. Amazing how that worked. And its history has shown it time and time again. Why people don't teach it, why people don't understand it. There's plenty of examples. Was that my yell? Maybe that was my yell for the day. What a day you got playing. I don't know what I got. I fired up my motorcycle and all my equipment yesterday and let them run. I probably got to sweep out the garage. I got to clean a couple ARs because I shot those 2 ARs where I put that trigger in. I got to get rid of my water heater on my horsey bucket because I think we're done with the freezes, so I can pull that back in the garage. What else I got going on? I got some trees that I cut down that I got to move to my burn pile because I'm slowly, each day I like drag 4 or 5 logs to my burn pile that I've cut down all over the place. So I'm building my burn pile. Let's see. FN. Tyrannical Clintons together. Look up Teca Coca for Masa, Antonio A25, Maria Hancour on YouTube. It shows videos of pics of the. Oh, okay. Oh, that's a good. See, that's another thing that I hate about freaking this StreamYard. I can't copy and paste that. I have to retype that verbatim because it doesn't allow me to copy and paste. So maybe when the video goes to YouTube, it'll allow me to copy and paste. I'll try to go back to that. You're toward the end there. Thanks for that. Appreciate that. I want to see that plane crash. I would rather you repost that as a comment when the video goes public, if you wouldn't mind. When USA just launched a brand new Virginia-class advanced sub, so go get them. We got plenty of subs and plenty of nukes. That ain't the problem. Problem is we just don't want to use them. Putin's not pseudo-silent. Oh, really? He isn't? Dude, I've never seen a country attack a guy, like I said, except for Trump. I mean, the shit is nonstop. It is attack and hate Putin. And Putin's trying to put out propaganda in his country that he's not the bad guy, he's the good guy. And he's probably successful. No different than Biden was successful here, saying what a great guy he is and how he got the most votes to get elected and what a great guy he is and how much of a great president. It's no different. Putin telling his people he's great and everyone else is bad. And Biden and the left is telling Trump's bad and everyone's bad that likes Trump and we're good. No freaking different. The similarities and the connection that people just don't make, it just amazes me. I just don't get it. Break out the Hoover carrier. What? What's a Hoover carrier? I don't know what that means. Oh, is that the Hoover class sub? Is that we're still back on subs? After the show, Rick, type into the search engine, China builds replicas of U.S. aircraft for bombing training. That's pretty good. Instead of me typing that out after the show, because I got to go back and find this, can you type it out after the show on a comment on the video? I'm at 2 hours and 40 minutes. Well, I'm going to get out of here in under 3 hours. That'll be great. Putin has loads to lose his hairline for one. Yo, man, why you be cracking on hairlines and shit? Why can't we all just get along? Use nuclear close to home. I doubt he'll use. No. Wait a minute. I doubt he'll use nuclear close to home. Okay, yeah, this is a big misconception on your part. And maybe you just didn't articulate it correctly or you don't understand. But I want other people to understand. Putin has no intention of nuking Ukraine. That's not the threat. The threat is if anybody messes with him taking Ukraine, he will nuke them. And it doesn't care or it doesn't matter whether it's close to home or not. If he nukes a nuclear power, they will nuke back. So it has, whether or not it's close to home is absolutely irrelevant. Okay, I want to clear that up for the people that may not get this comment. Okay, my opinion, could be wrong. Person who has nothing to lose cares. I know. That's why the Japanese, when they were doing their I'm going to go to heaven and die, and the suicide bombers that walk in and think they're going to Allah, you can't defend against somebody willing to die. If you want to kill the president, not that I'm encouraging or suggesting, people that want to kill the president, if they're willing to die, that's the biggest threat to the Secret Service or anybody protecting them, because you can't plan around them. They're unreliable. They're not predictable. They have nothing to lose. When we plan to protect something, we plan just like when you put a lock on your door at your house. You're not stopping somebody from kicking your door in. You're making it so most people that will come out and see the door is locked, they'll move on. Most people won't kick your door in. If somebody wants to kick your door in, that freaking lock ain't going to do a damn thing. You lock your door in your car so nobody comes up and opens your car door and drags you out. If somebody wants you out of your car, they're going to bust that damn window and drag your ass out through the window. So the locks are kind of a perception of safety, kind of like government likes to tell you, you don't need a gun. We got guns, we'll protect you. It's a perception of safety that is false. So if you think that Putin won't use a nuke on Ukraine, therefore we're safe and there won't be a nuclear war, I think you are highly wrong on that topic. Could be wrong. I could be wrong. 5-7 is a good round. Have a great weekend. Thanks. I was the president. If I was president, I wouldn't get involved. Yeah, I'm not sure if we should either. I mean, we've already gotten involved. I mean, we're hurting Putin financially. We're hurting his friends financially. We're hurting the people of Russia financially. This sanctions, which sanctions often do, can sometimes backfire. We think we're hurting Putin. Right now, I don't think the Russian people are behind Putin. But if we take away their gas and we freeze and they watch their loved ones die because of our sanctions, We will empower Putin to use that as propaganda and say, see, you should have been on my side. Look what the U.S. did to you. And now we increase his power and control over his people because he gets to blame us for their misery. So by getting involved with sanctions, we could be inadvertently helping him. I mean, war is a messy game. Somebody bought EMP with the birdies, but he get in trouble with EMP before nuke tac. I've already heard EMP right before any. I've heard they use EMP right. Well, they don't necessarily use an EMP before a nuke tac. A nuke, an airburst, or any nuke that hits sends off an EMP. It's just if it hits the ground. Hang on, let me get my little. If an EMP hits the ground, the EMP creates a dome in this area that affected. So anything EMP is line of sight. So when a nuke hits, EMP goes out like so. If the nuke here, the EMP goes out like so, and it hits much more area and affects more. So airburst nuke is much more effective because you get the EMP a lot further. I think an EMP 14 or 12 or 14 miles, if in the center of the United States, blacks out the entire country. If they have a nuke airburst 12 to 14 miles above the center of the U.S., it will black out the entire U.S. and take out our grid. We're done. Now, it won't black out military bases that are EMP hardened and aircrafts that are EMP hardened and subs and boats that are EMP hardened and protected from you. It won't black them out. But the pesky citizens, we're done. No internet, no phones, no towers, no electricity. We're toast. Cars stop working. If an airburst 12 miles above the U.S., we're toast. That is the biggest threat. And any country that wants to screw us will get a nuke down close to Mexico or in the waters, and we're screwed. By the time it goes up there and blow up, we ain't talking it down. Shit, we couldn't even stop planes that were flying to freaking the White House. We had all aircrafts stranded, and yet a plane was still able to continue to fly and crash in 9/11. So if we can't stop a freaking big-ass plane that's only going 500 miles an hour, you think we're going to be able to stop a nuke or launch down fucking in Mexico that just has to fly up 12 miles before it goes off? Shit. All right, I digress. Where are we at? Nuclear power plants. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about now. What the fuck did I get notified at all? I'm pissed. Oh, Rachel, you just got notified now? We've been on for 2 hours of... Thanks, YouTube. That's YouTube censorship. That's Putin. Putin and YouTube are buddies. Putin, YouTube, and Facebook love censorship. They love controlling the narrative. They love telling you what the real truth is. You should only listen to Putin, YouTube, and Facebook because they know they're the smartest. They are the good guys. Everyone else is the bad guys. Funny how that works out. Yeah, I would agree. It is like suicide. I have no problem with Putin taking Ukraine. Better than the alternative. Okay, so if I got this comment right, you're saying instead of getting a war with Putin, it's easier to give him Ukraine. Is that your position? Here's the problem with that position. If he wants to take the UK next, are you okay with that? If he wants to take New Zealand next, are you okay with that? If he wants to take Australia, you're okay with that? Because it's better than the alternative? See, that's the problem with people that sit on a fence or stand back and don't want to confront evil. They're like, as long as the evil doesn't affect me, I'm okay with it. Okay, and I'm not sure if that's what you were trying to explain. I'm trying to attack you. But your comment kind of implies that as long as it doesn't affect you, you don't really care what he does. That's not a good position. That's what people said about the Jews and Hitler. Hey, if he takes the Jews, as long as he doesn't cover me, no big deal. I shouldn't have mentioned Jews because now I'm going to have all the people who are telling me how it was fake. And nuclear weapons are more effective used at high altitude, detonating EMP. I think I just explained that. Was that comment before I explained that? Someone beat me $1,000, sort of, that Putin won't attack. Somebody bet me 1,000, sort of, that Putin won't attack USA. I don't think Putin will attack the USA. I would probably take that bet. I don't think he will attack. I think the USA can stick our nose in it and force him into some sort of conflict. See, I don't think either side will just say, I'm launching a nuke. There's always an escalation. There's going to be a power play. We put sanctions, he gets pissed. He turns up, he does more shit. We charge him with war crimes, he says, fuck you. He does more shit. He gets more aggressive. We go, fuck you, you're getting more aggressive, we're going to put a no-fly zone. You put in a no-fly zone, I'm going to fly my planes. If you shoot me down, we're going to be in fucking war. We shoot one plane, he shoots one plane. One Navy ship runs in another Navy ship. That's how you get to a nuclear launch. I don't think either side is going to go, fuck it, I'll just fire a nuke. That ain't how it's going to work. It has to go through steps of bullying. I'm going to fuck you. No, I'm going to fuck you. I'm going to say fuck you. No, I'm going to say fuck you. Okay, when we get to the point to where there's no more fuck yous, then it's like, fuck it, I'll fire a fucking nuke. That's how we get to nuclear launches. It's not like, no, with North Korea, that's not true. He's just could be crazy and say, fuck it, I'll nuke it. Iran, they're always saying they want to blow up Israel. They just might nuke it. You're on different levels there. Putin, I don't think is at that level to where he's that level of craziness to where he's just going to launch a nuke. It's going to you're going to have to back him in a corner and make him to where he has nothing left to lose. Then he'll launch. Saudi Arabia is going poison his girlfriend with loom. I haven't seen her. Is she smoking? I don't know if she's like a hottie or, I mean, he's got a wife and a girlfriend and 10 billion or whatever billion, $20 billion, $200 billion and a house worth $2 billion and yachts. And he's the leader of the country. I mean, you talk about being a selfish prick. How much more do you want, dude? What the fuck? How much is enough is enough? War crimes. How come Bush didn't get taken? Well, I agree. Rick, do a storm video. If we're supposed to get good storm tomorrow and it's supposed to be during the daytime. So I might get some good storm footage tomorrow. Israel already threatened to sue. Sue who? Who the hell is Israel going to sue? Oh, yeah, mutual assured destruction. We launch on them. They launch Earth. It's automatic. Yeah, that's why there's no winners. Putin's a loose cannon. I think he wants to make people think he's a loose cannon because that's how bullies are. Don't fuck with me. I'll beat your ass, blah, 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 blah. Don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me. So, but a lot of times, people who have been in fights and dealt with a lot of people, the people who squawk the most and tell you how bad they are kind of pussies when it comes down to it. Now, I'm not sure I'd call Putin a pussy, but I don't know if he's a loose cannon. I think he's got power. He knows he has power. He took Crimea. Nobody did shit. We gave him pretty much a green light to say, okay, if you take Crimea, we won't do nothing. So he says, okay, fuck it. I'll take Ukraine. And you ain't going to do nothing. And now when we let him take Ukraine and don't do nothing, then what? Do we set him up with more power? I mean, he's going to die eventually. If we can appease him with few countries here and there every 3 to 5 years, pretty soon he'll be old enough, but then who takes over? One of his tyrannical kids that want to support or revenge him? I mean, what? I mean, would it be better right now if a sniper just took him out? Who thinks that if somebody killed Putin, that all his loyal generals would launch nukes? I don't believe that. I think Putin is 100% dictator in control. And if Putin drops dead of a heart attack, poisoning, or a shot in the head, or his car crashes, or a bomb hits him, I think a lot of this shit stops. That's just me. Not that I would encourage violence or want anybody to go take out Putin. I'm not trying to put out a warning or bounty or that shit, whatever. And I'm not afraid of Putin. Putin once comes to Texas, fucking drag your ass on, motherfucker. I don't care. Whatever. But I'm just saying, if he was out of the picture, I think a lot of this stock. I think he is the majority single one man calling all the strings. He doesn't have advisors. He's got people that are scared of him. He's got people surrounding him that tell him what he wants to hear. But I think if he was out of the picture, his fear and control goes away, and so does this. One man's opinion. What do I know? Fuck, I'm just some dummy on the internet. All right. I got to get out of here, people. That's exactly why we lost this country. Putin needs a trip with a sharp pencil. He could trip with a sharp pencil. That would stop a lot. Putin also invaded Ukraine when Biden was vice president. Just saying. Did we do anything? Just fucking table Putin has. He's paranoid. Just look at that fucking table Putin had. I know. And that's not even a big table. There's another video to where he's talking to one dude, and I shit you not, he's got a freaking table that's like I would have to yell to talk to him. And he's got one guy on the other side of the table sitting down, and he's sitting down smiling. They're talking across a long, round, huge table, about 3 times the size of the table in that video. And I was like, who the fuck has a table like that? And who the fuck talks to somebody that far away? I mean, you talk about some anal paranoid shit. I remember the DA used to fucking, Jeff Reisig, that crooked DA. He would always, when you were with him or around him, he'd look at a call and he'd see who's calling. And sometimes it would be in the middle of a warrant or an operation or something. And I'd be like, dude, you probably ought to take that because that's information. And he'd send him a voicemail and he goes, I don't take calls. He goes, I make calls. And I was like, you arrogant fucking pompous motherfucker. He just thought he was so important that he didn't have to answer somebody's call. He only called people back that he wanted to, when it was convenient and when he could. And that was his management style, and that's his lifestyle. And that he's just a piece of shit. He would make people wait to see him. The other DA, his door was open. If you want to talk to him, I'd walk in. Hey, Dave, you got a minute? Yeah, come on in. You know, run a warrant by him, run a situation by him, etc. If I was when I was the president of the association, I'd have to go talk to him about something. Come on in, sit down. He goes, we need to close the door? No, whatever. So we talk and be done. He was very accessible. When Reisig got elected, he goes, I'm not going to be, he goes, that's bullshit. I'm never going to be that accessible. You want to talk to me, you're going to wait. You'll either make an appointment or you'll wait. Nobody will walk into my office and just have access to me like that. So there are people that when you give him power, and Reisig's kind of a short guy. He's a big muscle dude, muscle steroid, you know, having to impress somebody with his big muscles. But he's really kind of a weak kind of pussy person, but he just thrived on that power. And when you give people, Putin's not a big guy either. And Putin grew up poor, and he grew up when, you know, there was a history on NBC last night. I watched it, and it showed his growing up and what formed him. And Russia was strong, and the Soviet Union was like very powerful. And he grew up, and his dad was, I think, a submarine pilot or something, or maybe a pilot, or I don't remember. His dad was somewhere in the military. It was important. He didn't grow up like the rest of the people. He grew up kind of, Russia's good. Having power is good. Being the elite is good. He didn't suffer. He wasn't living in the gulag or fucking begging for food. He grew up thinking he was special. So people like that, they just have a different mindset. So I don't know how the fuck I got on that. Somebody said, oh, Putin, he's paranoid. I don't know if he's paranoid. He could just think that I'm so fucking important, nobody gets sit next to me. All right. Steroid boys, teeny weeny feet. Paranoid will have you dying for the enemy. Anyone know why some dogs get so upset when they hear gunfire? Their dogs have very sensitive hearing. So anything high-pitched hurt their ears. They can hear a dog whistle and we can't hear it. So when a shot is fired and you get that report from the bullet hit the speed limit, that's basically a sonic boom. Like a bullet doesn't give that loud unless it's hitting supersonic speed above the speed of sound. So when you hear that, that's a very high-pitched sound. So dogs react to that differently than people. It probably hurts their ears. It may be very sensitive. It probably agitates them, just like maybe fingernails on a chalkboard will agitate you, or a siren. Certain sirens, they have different sirens for different pitches. You know, they got the woo, woo, woo. They got the woo, woo, and then the woo, all those different sirens do different things to kind of affect you and kind of irritate you, so you pay attention. And I think gunfire is something like that for dogs. But I digress. Hey, Chief Smoke Lighter. Hey, somebody gave me $10. What was that? Damn, I didn't see the comment. I just saw $10 pop up top on my screen. Thank you. Whoever sent me that. Freaking YouTube just took fucking $5. Rip off motherfucking communist Putin motherfuckers. All right. Anyway, I got to get out of here. Y'all have a good one. Don't forget the gas, Rick. Oh, shit. I got to go that day. I do have to go get some, fill up my gas tanks. I mean, I'm not like paranoid where I got to do it now, but I want to get it done. When you put things off, it's just not good. I got food. I got some extra canned goods. My truck's full. I've got all my other cars are gas. I just got my empty gas tanks that aren't full. And I think I might have 1 or 2 propane tanks that aren't full. And I've been wanting to get another propane tank. So I just may go buy another full propane tank and fill up my 2 that are empty. You know, no power. You're going to need to cook. So if you don't want to build a fire every time you do something, you might want to have some propane or some way to cook, or firewood. Building firewood every time you need to heat up water or cook something is kind of a pain in the ass. But you wouldn't know that unless you ever had to live like that. But I digress. Fire a pistol without hearing protection. You know why dog ain't have that. No freaking shit. And you know what? Worse than firing a pistol with no hearing protection? Firing a damn pistol or rifle on a gun range that's covered with no hearing protection. Because that reverb and that freaking percussion is even worse. At least out in the open, it's not quite as bad. All right. I'm watching Crowdsource Truth live chat today at 2:30. All right. Have a good one. Good people. Thanks for coming. 2 hours and 59 minutes. I'm getting out of here in 3 hours. Woo, this is like a record. Yeehaw. All right. Y'all have a good one. We'll end it with my little, where's my little song? All right. Have a good one, gun people. We'll talk to y'all later.